All right. We are
Fuck it,
officially
we're
live.
live. Where's the link? Where's the link at?
So I have a controversial subject for us to discuss first.
Uh-oh. What did I do now?
No, you didn't do anything. So you know how I do my spaces on Friday nights on Twitter, right?
Yeah.
Maybe you don't know that. So one of the spaces, or one of the people who's in the space, it's Apollo or Tilly. I don't know which one he goes by like normally, but he was talking about you're gay, David. Sorry, the comments are popping up and I can see what people are saying on YouTube. But the all cops are bastards thing.
Yeah.
And I know you're like really hardcore about this. And so I am not. And frankly, if we would go back, I don't know, 2 years, I probably would have been a back the blue kind of person.
Yeah.
So when you say that, are you talking about the institution or the individuals?
Yes.
Okay. So the reason I ask, and I'm asking seriously, I know like you and I fuck around all the time when we talk and hang out. But so as individuals, you're an anarchist, right? So the individual is the smallest minority. So my question to you is, are those people, are they not allowed to be considered individuals? Like where they're capable of making up their own minds? Why as an anarchist or as somebody who believes in individual liberty, would you group that into a collective? Does that make sense?
Right. And it comes down to the individual and the institution. The institution itself is designed to, it's not, law enforcement isn't designed to necessarily, like they sit there like and say, oh, we protect you. No, you don't. You just go after people. Like you just look for crimes that everybody is breaking. That's all they do. That's what the institution does. But they add a little sunshine onto it, saying like, oh, we're here to protect you. It's like, yeah, you do get some shitty people, like serial killers and shit. Like, all right, I'll give you credit for that. But like the majority of laws that they enforce are victimless crimes. Totally victimless. The majority. I don't even know the numbers, but I can tell you it's the vast majority of the laws that they enforce are victimless crimes. And things that aren't even really a crime if you have enough money to pay the fine. You know what I mean? Like a crime that's only punishable by a fine means that it's okay to do it if you're rich. That's my problem that I have for it. They're not Cops don't drive around the city looking to protect people. They drive around with their eyes open, on the side of the road with the radar gun out, looking to punish people.
Right.
That's what they're doing. They're not looking like, oh, I have my eye out to make sure that that person is safe. It's no, I have my eye out looking for ways to earn money for the state. That's what they're doing.
Okay, so I'm going to throw one out to you. So if you're a beat cop, I would probably tend to agree with you, obviously. Like, that's their sole purpose, is to go find people who are within the area that are, quote unquote, breaking laws. So what if, though, crimes against children? What if I'm out there catching pedophiles? I'm a police officer. My sole purpose and my sole function in my job is to catch and find individuals who are harming children. Am I bastard?
Not for that, but you're a bastard for turning a blind eye to the 40% of people in law enforcement that are beating their own wives and kids at home.
Okay. I
That's
will.
something I have a problem with also. They need to police themselves. They're not doing that.
Yeah.
They won't
Well,
do that.
when who in power ever polices themselves? Any in any government, right? Like
Right.
police.
That doesn't make it okay.
No, I don't have to
That
say that
doesn't,
it is.
that doesn't mean we should
But it
sit
also
back and be like,
doesn't
oh,
make
that's
every
just the way
single
it
one of them
is.
a bastard. Like, what if I don't know that someone's beating his wife? Or what if I
So
don't know what's going on in someone else's home?
here's the way I look at it. If you have one cop that's doing bad shit and 9 cops that turn a blind eye to it, you now have 10 bad cops.
Okay, so
Even if
I
those
will
9
concede
cops
that.
aren't actually doing it, it's even if those 9 cops aren't actually doing that thing, but they know the one is doing it, now all 10 of them are bad.
Okay, so I will concede that if the 9 cops knowingly turn a blind eye, if they don't know, how can they police it?
They typically do. You go back like to the 90s in the LAPD. A lot of them were doing all the dirty work, like acting as hitmen for the gangs and everything. And like they knew it. There was entire precincts that were in on it. And everybody knew it. Even if they weren't doing it themselves, they knew it was going on. And they just turned a blind eye to it.
Who would they have been able to go to say, hey, this is going on?
State level, or even, I mean, if it's going on in that precinct, there's still like the chief of police to go to somebody, the media, go to the media. Hey, here's what's going on. Here's proof.
Yeah.
Like anything. Somebody.
I guess I tend to lean on the side of holding individuals accountable and responsible for their actions. So if I were to see a police officer commit a crime, whether it's against his wife or a regular citizen out in the middle of the street, that cop should be held accountable for that. I can't control your actions, right? Like I can't control what Felix does. So how can I be held accountable for what Felix does?
So then does that mean
that from with the all cops are bastards? Like it's hard for me to look at every single one of them and say you're all bastards because you have shitty fucking people who work in your organization.
Oh, it's the same way every priest gets looked at being a pedophile now.
But aren't they all pedophiles?
A lot of them fucking knew about it. So if they knew that shit was going on and they didn't do anything about it, they are just as guilty.
I don't disagree with you, but if you don't know about it and you didn't participate in it, then you can't be held liable for someone else's behavior. That's the only place where I have a problem, because we as a society, we've gotten into such a huge habit of collectivizing blame for anything. MAGA. You support Trump, you're a fucking Nazi. Democrats. You support Democrats, you're fucking retarded. Government in general, you're a fucking bootlicker. So it's like those types of things. David said, I don't know if you can see the comments, but
no,
David
I can't
said,
see the comments. Oh wait, here, check.
Okay.
Comments.
He said, good people don't sign up for a job that consists of robbing people for breaking arbitrary laws.
There you go. I like what they were saying there.
That's Neil, used to be Neil Cash Carey. I think it's like, oh no, anyhow.
Yeah. Hi, buddy.
So, and Patriot Girl is listening. Hi, sweet lady. So that's what it is. Go ahead.
It's exactly what he just said. Good people don't take a job where they're out in search to just punish people. They look for, goddamn, you know how many laws I break a day? They don't hurt anybody. The same thing with you. It's
Right.
everybody. Everybody breaks at least one law a day. They do it without realizing it. But catch the
Yeah.
wrong cop on the wrong day, you're gonna learn that you just broke a law. Good
Right.
people don't take jobs like that. They don't. I don't see any reason. Like people, nobody becomes a cop anymore because they really want to become a cop. They become a cop. They become a cop because, like, their glory days were in high school, and now they got nothing else to do. You know, it was Mister, like, fucking Uncle Rico. Like, I could throw a pigskin over them mountains.
Oh
Like, that's who
my
becomes a
God.
cop
I
these days.
fucking love that movie.
Honestly, that's who becomes a cop these days. They don't go out there. Nobody's out there because they want to make a change. The only change they want to make is in their life because they don't want to work at a fucking gas station or something like that. Actually
Yeah.
more honor in. I find more honor in that job. You're actually serving people in that job. You
Yeah.
know, you're not out trying to punish people. That's what
Right.
they do. They go around with their eyes open, and you can't just take, like, oh, the pedophile, the ones going after the pedophiles, because they turn a blind eye. Um, like the criminal, like, or not the criminal, the the internal affairs departments. All they do is they just protect each other. Look at Johnny Hurley. They investigated themselves in killing a guy
Yeah.
who just killed someone that shot one of them. You know, like, how is that right? Like it's it's I don't have any trust for them. I don't see them out there to make a change for the better.
Right.
They're just out there. How can we collect money off of these people? How can I punish these people? And God forbid they go home and that tuna casserole is cold. Now their
So can I
family's
tell you
gonna
a
feel
funny
it.
story?
Yeah.
So I was almost a cop.
Oh no.
Um, so like when people ask you like what you want to be when you grow up, my dream job was to be Clarice Starling from the FBI.
So see, that's cool. Like criminal profiling and shit. Like, that's cool. I'm really
But
into
I
that
would have
shit.
been a cop. I would have been a bastard to you.
I know. I know.
But I think it's important too to also keep perspective. Not everybody gets into law enforcement to exert authority and hurt people. I think that there are still people who have a genuine interest in this kind of Pollyanna notion that I'm going to go out and I'm going to change my community. I'm going to help the world with my job. I think there are still people who believe that. But
Then
I
why
think that you
why are
have,
all of these then why are all of these communities that have all the crime and all, why have they been like that for decades? Why has no change actually been made in those communities?
I was getting to that part. So then you
Okay.
still
Sorry
have,
for being rude.
no, you're fine. So you still have very similar to our federal government, right? You have this bureaucratic background that dictates the behavior of the lower portion. So when edicts are issued from the White House, fucking Joe Biden didn't write any of that shit. There's some group of little fucking individuals back in the background that are producing that. It's the same concept with the police. There's this bureaucratic. You don't think they get told what their job consists of before they accept? I'll get to you in a minute, David. So there's this bureaucratic group of people who are in the background saying, oh no, if you don't get X amount of stupid trivial arrests that contribute X amount of tax revenue to the county, then we're going to reassign you or put you on probation or what, we'll put you on some fucking duty that you don't want. And so I think that that's where you run into some of the issues is you have bureaucratic fucking bullshit on the backside. David, okay, so I'm going to go to Stefan's question or comment. He said victimless crimes are retarded. I don't know if I can say that on here without getting us shut off, but
You're quoting
get rid of
somebody.
those. Yeah, okay. that eliminates the need for so many cops. The ones left can focus on violent crimes and pedos. So I think that that's a decent response. I think that's a decent position to have. I'm all for getting rid of laws that are stupid and unconstitutional, which I know how everybody, all my anarchists feel about the Constitution. Like, I get it. But before you start railing me, I understand that nobody cares about it. But and then David said, you don't think they get told what their job consists of before they accept. And again, I do think that they get told. I think there's a bit of brainwashing on that training side. I think that sometimes they are told, "Oh, you're going to make a difference. You're going to change the world with your job."
That happened to me before going into the Army.
Yeah.
I know what that can be like, so I'll vouch for that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
you
don't
get told
tell
like
you what
you're going
you're
to save,
actually going to
you
be
know,
doing, or nobody would
you're going
ever
to
sign up for
yeah,
it.
you're going to protect the world and you're going to defend freedom and this and that. And yeah, so all right, I can I'll say that. Yeah, I can see how that can happen. It doesn't you don't see that that's bullshit until you actually get dropped off in some
Right.
foreign country where they don't even want us there, you know.
Yeah.
But whether they like it or not, they're about to get some fucking freedom, you know. I mean,
They're gonna get shoved down their fucking throat.
you're gonna
Um,
accept accept this cluster bomb of freedom, kids.
yeah.
You know?
Oh man. Okay.
Yeah,
So moving on to less trivial topics.
the clitoris.
Um,
No, wait,
huh?
that's trivial. Nothing.
um, so what do you, okay, first of all, I want to go back to our last episode that you and I did together
Yeah,
and ask you, you were getting ready to start a project with, like, you were going to do like cheap guns, but like well put together and kind of like work through that. Have you been able to do that yet?
that's currently going on. I actually recently started taking online gunsmithing courses just so I can get
Ooh,
certified.
that's cool.
Yeah, I'm partnered up with a guy who he's got his FFL. He just got back from Cerakote's headquarters or whatever. He's Cerakote certified and all. We're actually registering. We're becoming an actual like a gun manufacturer. It's
That's
just going to be,
exciting.
yeah. There's already we already got a shop and everything, so it's all coming together right now. I'll have more details soon. So that's an exclusive just for you that you just got. So
Well, and all of the people who
I
are
got a
listening. So that's very awesome.
I got another business that I'm working on too. Um, so it's like Uber Eats will bring you food, and Drizzly's awesome. Drizzly will actually deliver
Brings
alcohol
you
to you.
booze. Yeah.
We're doing that with weed.
I was getting
So
ready to ask, are you going to do weed? Because you're in
yeah,
Colorado. That's fucking great.
I know there's companies in California and New Jersey that do it, but there's none in Colorado. So we're going to start here, and that ball is already rolling. Lawyers, everything involved in that right now. So that'll be up. It's an app.
That's so great.
Yeah, so it's an app that you download, and you only got to upload your ID once when you first make the account. So then you're verified, and then our driver will come up and have your photo on their phone and make sure that that's you and all. And the driver will only have your photo. They won't have the rest of your details from your driver's license or anything. Like, that's it. But we got to verify you're at least 21. So
That's so awesome, Felix. I'm so
yeah.
excited for you.
Thank you. Me too. I always got my toes in some sort of fucking water trying to make
Oh,
money.
I know.
So yeah.
I
But
know.
yeah,
You're
that's
a fucking
happening. That's
mess,
happening
man.
right now too. Yeah, I'm all over the
Very
place. I'm
cool.
back. I'm back working with HVAC stuff again. So because I got
Yeah.
bored, so I got back into that again.
So what were you
I
doing
do.
in Dallas?
Um.
Or can I ask that
So
on the air? If you don't want to
not
tell me, you don't have to.
which time? Last year?
No, you had asked me if I was going to be
I
down
was go.
there.
I may be going to Dallas soon. So I spent 3 months down there last year. Company. I do sales consulting, and they it's a very, very large nationwide HVAC company. They opened up a branch down in Dallas, Fort Worth area last year. I went down for 3 months to help them get started up. And I was going to take a permanent position, but then I was like, fuck it, I'm done. I'm retiring. So, but then just like Tom Brady, I came back. So
Tom
I
Brady
got
pissed
bored.
so many people off in the
I got
last
bored.
month.
I knew he wasn't gone. And that guy, he's not stopping it. He's how old? He's fucking my age and he's still
44.
playing. Yeah, he's my age. He's still playing at that fucking level. Like, come on. I wouldn't quit either. When you're that good at that age, you don't just stop. You can't. You know.
Oh man, I don't know
I
though.
don't.
Like I kind of went back and forth on that whole situation because you want to go out on top. You don't want to go out with some fucking life-ending injury or something fucking crazy. And I don't know, man. Like that's rough. I just hope that nothing bad happens to him. Is what I'm
That's
saying, really, more than anything.
no. I mean, yeah. I don't ever want to see any athlete get hurt. But not even like Dak Prescott. I hate the Cowboys. But even when he got hurt 2 years ago, I felt bad. Like, he's whatever. He's
Yeah,
doing his thing. But no, I mean, best of luck to Tom Brady. I mean, credit to him. I couldn't do that shit. Shit. Dude, last year I tried. Last year I played one game of pickup hockey, and I was out of commission for like 3 days. So I couldn't imagine playing an entire season of football
yeah,
at this age. Fuck that.
yeah.
Like credit to him. He's the best
I'm not.
ever. Yeah,
Felix, I'm gonna be 39 this year. I'm
you're
getting
young.
old.
I'm gonna be 45 this year, so shut the fuck up.
That's like a milestone, though. Are you gonna do anything big for that birthday?
Take a nap. I don't know.
Did I ever tell you what I did for my 35th birthday?
No.
Okay, so I don't know, like turning 30 really wasn't that big of a deal to me, but turning 35, I was like, man, like that's like a milestone. So I called a bunch of my girlfriends and hired a photographer, had her come to my house, and I had an adult cake smash, like where I had cake smashed all over my friends smashed cake in my face. They sprayed champagne all over one another. Like it was like this big, like child's party but adult. And I had this huge tutu skirt on. It was fucking great. I loved it. The pictures are like my favorite thing. So when I turn 40, I'm gonna have to like up the game. I'm gonna have to do something even bigger.
Orgy. No. No, everyone knows that's your 60th birthday. Um that's the loose
You're
skin.
so stupid.
There's loose skin slapping all over the place.
Gross. Oh, you're so fucking gross.
uh, Man, that's only 15 years away from me. That's fucking scary.
Uh,
Uh oh, so we're gonna have to plan your 40th birthday party. All right.
just leave
I'll
it
get my
up to the
people.
internet. The internet
I'll
can
get
plan
I'll get
my
my
40th
people on it.
birthday.
I'll get my people on it. Don't worry. Oh, we got an audience. I
Oh,
got
shit.
two of my cats staring out the window at me right now.
Aw.
Uh,
How many do you have now?
right now, for the three that were originally supposed to be temporary, then I was like, no, they're not temporary. Yeah, I found homes for them and all. So down to four right now. But they're fun. And my dog, Henry. Henry's around somewhere. He's ugly.
So, what do you think about this stuff? I mean, obviously, you're an anarchist. You're completely anti-war. You served in the military. What do you think about everything that's going on with Ukraine? Like, give me legitimate thoughts, and then give me tinfoil hat.
Legitimate, it's gonna be So now, taking the now, there's a few parts that don't want to be, right. Correct me if I'm wrong. They don't want to be part of Ukraine. They want to be part of Russia, right?
They want to be independent. So the
They
Donbass
well,
region, which is
they want to be
Luhansk.
well. Here's what that means. That means Russian agents are talking to them. To me, that means, hey, we do want to be part of Russia, but Russia knows Ukraine isn't just going to give you over to us. So claim your independence, and then we'll worry about making
Okay.
you part of us later. That's what that means,
Sure.
right? That's what that I
Yeah.
mean, it don't take it. We all see that's what that is, right? So, I mean, they want to be part of Russia, which is cool. If that's what they want to do, that's fine. But however, oh, my cigarette almost went out. Sorry. At the same time, I understand, Ukraine not giving them up. That would be like Michigan being like, you know what, we want to be part of Canada. America would be like, no, fuck you. Like that's not happening.
Russia demanded
You
we give
know,
Alaska back. Did you see that?
no, did they really?
Yeah.
Well, we actually paid for that, Russia. Fuck you. Those are
Yeah.
our moose. Fuck you. That's
Wow,
us.
that's our
That's ours.
oil.
We actually paid for that. That's your fault for giving it up for just such a cheap price. But
Right.
they it's tricky. They gotta like, has Ukraine ever tried talking to them? Like sitting down with Russia, like, hey, let's talk
They're in
about
talks right
this.
now. They've had 3 negotiation sessions over the
Well,
course
they
of the
should have
last
talked.
few
They
weeks
should have. They should have talked before they started shooting at
beforehand.
each other. That's what they
Yeah.
should have done. They should have sat down and spoken first. It sounds like somebody was, well, both sides were being fucking stubborn. Um,
Yeah.
they should have sat down and spoke about it. I know geography on that part of the world is just fucking weird because those are parts of Ukraine where they speak Russian and all. Like they're Russian, they're actually ethnic Russians. So I could see why they would want to be part of Russia and all. I get it. But I mean, I don't know. It's why I'm not a diplomat or anything. Um, it's tough. It's like both sides are gonna have to give a little to get a little. You know
Yeah.
what those things are? I don't know. That's gonna take a lot smarter people than me to figure out. I don't know. Uh,
What do you think is
um,
going to happen here over the course of the next 6 to 10 months?
Here,
Yeah.
shit's just gonna get more expensive. That's it. It's just gonna get more expensive. Um,
How
they
much is
want
a
it.
gallon of gas where you are right now?
Fucking, I don't even. I take my cars that use gas are premium,
What
but we're not
vehicle do
over.
you have that doesn't use gas?
I got electric. I got an
What?
electric. Yeah, I got an electric car.
No shit.
Yeah, I'm not against electric cars. I like electric cars.
Okay, so I'll have questions about that, but keep going. Okay, so your vehicle, the
I'm a
one
car
that
guy.
broke down the
I
other day that
look.
didn't have a spare, which was that the electric vehicle?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It was icy. I tried to not hit some deer, and I just clipped the curb, and it didn't even puncture a tire. It just broke the seal. So yeah, it just broke the seal around the rim. So the tire went flat, and it doesn't even come with a spare tire. They don't want you changing it yourself. So I had to get picked up on the side of the road. That was embarrassing. I like felt like it made me feel like not a man because I couldn't change my own flat tire. And I was like, fuck, I didn't even realize this thing don't have a spare tire.
Have you
But
rectified that since that situation occurred?
there's not even a spot to put a spare tire. And like,
What?
yeah, they want you have to get picked up. Yeah, like the brakes lock up on it, and it's weird. Yeah, because there's an electric motor going to the wheel. They don't want just the
Right.
regular person dealing with it. Then I was kind of like, you know
I
what?
guess I
There's
can
snow and
see
ice.
that.
There's snow and ice on the ground. I kind of don't feel like changing the tire right now, anyhow. But you know,
Get to use that as
um,
an excuse.
no, it's not even $5 yet here. Even the premium, it hasn't broken the $5 mark yet. But yeah, everything's just going to keep getting more expensive. Here's where the tinfoil hat comes. We knew it was coming. It was happening before this. Now they have their excuse. Um, so it's like the whole pandemic. So here, let me put a huge disclaimer right up front. I'm never going to say that COVID is not real. I have had all three strains of it now. COVID's real. I felt like I had a flu each time I had it. It's real.
Right.
So let me just put that up front. I will not deny that COVID is real. Where it came from or whatever, that's a totally different story. However, they used it as an excuse to set the tone. We are in charge. You're going to obey us. They used it as to condition us um, to just be to just fall in line. That's what they did. They used
Right.
it as a conditioning tool to get us used to this is how things are going to be now. Um, then they were going to start making things expensive. We saw it happening almost the day that Biden got into office. The prices on everything just started going up.
Yeah.
Now this is just like COVID was their excuse to condition us to be um, subservient. Is that the word I'm looking for? Submissive. Submissive.
Yeah.
They conditioned us to be submissive. Now they're using this as they're using the war now um, as an excuse to okay, things are getting more expensive, and now you all need to fall in line and follow us if you want to make things better.
Right.
Now that's where I wouldn't even call that tinfoil hat. I mean, that's like almost like common sense. Like you see it happening. I mean, patterns of
Right.
behavior. We've seen them do this how many times? You know,
Yeah.
it's
Well, and it's also a level of dependency creation, right? Like you need us to fix this problem for you. You
that
can't do
yes,
this on your own.
it's like oh no, where'd you go? Am I all alone? Is it just me by myself? Oh, there you go. Hi, welcome back. Welcome back.
Maybe, oops, I said
I
something
didn't know what to
wrong.
do. I was all by myself. I was scared. um, it's almost like being in an abusive relationship. You know, it's like he hits me because I messed up.
Right.
That's what it's like at this point. It really is, and it's disgusting. It's mental abuse. It's it's sick, and just to see people fall in line time and time again. Um, it it's sad. It's really sad watching people that should know better, but because
That
the people
that is
telling
the
them,
hardest
because
part.
the people, yeah, the people telling them are wearing the same color tie as them. They're cheering them on. It's like they
Yeah.
don't even think about it. They just like a Democrat saying this, oh, I'm going to agree without even thinking. It's sad. Now we're being told, worship this Zelensky guy. So
have
here's
you
another.
have you paid your alms at the altar of Zelensky today?
Yeah.
That's what it fucking feels like.
So
Frustrations. Oh yes.
here's another fat disclaimer. Fuck Putin too. Fuck Putin right off the bat. Fuck Putin. He's a fucking he's a piece of shit. I mean, they fucking how many guys have they that defected? They're spies that defected from Russia. Have they fucking given radiation poisoning and shit? You
Yeah.
know. But I mean, I guess again, when you get involved in that game, you kind of know the potential consequences. You know.
Well, and that's what I was gonna say. I mean,
But
I can't
but
say
still,
this is
he's a shitty guy. He's a piece of shit. But Zelensky, it this whole fucking Azov battalion thing, like, come the fuck on. They are a government funded and sponsored neo-Nazi organization. Like, if Zelensky wanted any kind of support from me, he'd stand up and say, no, they're not us. You guys don't fucking represent us. Get the fuck out of here. Azov's been a problem for a long time. Vice News back in 2014 did this whole series about the fighting going on in Ukraine, and they spoke about them back then in 2014. The mass shooter at the mosque in New Zealand, he had fucking links to Azov and all. Like,
I didn't know that.
oh yeah, yeah. He's reached out to them online. They do online recruiting. They recruit people from all over the place, and they're a far right. I don't even like to say the word far right. Um, they're. I mean, let's just call them what they are. They're fucking neo Nazis. They are. They're neo Nazis, and they recruit people to go do neo Nazi shit. And it's like, cool, okay. So say they defeat Russia and kick them out. Do you know how much fucking power and pull those guys are gonna? They're gonna become like Ukraine's fucking Gestapo, essentially.
Right. Yeah.
You know, I can't support that. I can't support people that not just you know emotionally and mentally support, but financially support a fucking neo-Nazi army. I can't support that. And there's videos coming out of them just terrorizing their own people, terrorizing Ukrainian people. These videos are coming out. And of course, oh, that's just Putin propaganda. No, the fuck it isn't. These guys have been pieces of shit since 2014. They've been doing this shit.
That's the hard thing for me. It's so hard for me to know what's propaganda versus what's real.
I
I'm
mean,
not saying that anything you're saying is untrue. I'm just saying.
At the end of the day, everything's propaganda.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
everything's it's promoting a cause, pushing an agenda.
Hold on. I was going to read you something that I saw today that I thought was really interesting. If I can find it. Okay, so can you hear me okay? Or am I still like a mini can? Okay. So in 1935, 6 years before the United States entered World War II, a historian said, confronted by the difficulties of a deepening domestic crisis and by the comparative ease of a foreign war, what will President Roosevelt do? Judging by the past history of American politicians, he will choose the latter. Or perhaps it would be more accurate to say, amid powerful conflicting emotions, he will stumble into the latter. And it says, war is the state's escape from a collapsed internal economy. And one of like the quotes was 13 days before Pearl Harbor, Secretary of War Henry Stimson recorded in his diary in a meeting with President Roosevelt, quote, the question was how we should maneuver them into the position of firing the first shot without allowing too much danger to ourselves. And it feels very much like the United States is operating under that same premise. What can we do to provoke Russia enough to get them to fire the shot first so that we're on the defensive rather than the offensive?
Right. I don't see Russia taking a shot at us first, though.
You think they'll call their bluff? Well,
no. I think if this really goes into war, it's not going to be Russia taking the shot at us. Because Russia knows they're gonna. I mean, it's why Germany didn't take the first shot at us. They already had their hands full. They're
Yeah.
actually fighting right there in their backyard. Um, it's the reason why Germany let Japan take the first shot at us. Russia's going to let somebody else take a shot at us. I see China, but it's not. I don't think it's going to be a physical shot. It's going to be they're going to go after our power grid, and that's going to be just as fucking devastating as any bomb you could drop on us.
Right.
That's what I see happening. I think China is the only country on earth that actually has the balls to take a shot at us on our own soil. I really do. China is the only country because they're the only country with the power, the manpower and the military power that could go toe to toe with us. Honestly, um, I don't think in a one-on-one war, in a traditional war, um, I see China being really the only power that could go one-on-one with us. And Russia knows this. Russia knows they don't want to fight with us. They're already going to, if once it starts to escalate in the bigger war than what it is right now, um, Russia has to deal with all of those countries right at its border and Germany and all. They're not going to want to open up, a second front to come after us and include us in it.
Right.
I see China coming after us. Um, but either way, yes, you are correct. Um, they're definitely trying to provoke somebody right now. They
Yeah.
are. They want somebody. They want someone to take a shot at us.
So
Um,
my tinfoil hat, if you want to hear it,
yeah,
is I think that a lot of this is a Chinese play as well, but I think a
one
little
hundred
bit
percent.
differently. I think that China is looking to fund Russia to the level of like fighting this war in Ukraine to whatever end, whether it be Ukraine saying, okay, fine, we'll not join NATO, we'll stay independent. But I think that they're trying to get the United States pulled in. I think China is, and they're going to give the resources to Russia necessary to do it, to pull us as a distraction. And then China is going to take Taiwan. And the reason I think that is because China has officially militarized all of their islands in the
Yeah,
contested waters around Taiwan. That just was released in the last 24 hours.
yeah.
So I think that move is getting ready to come. And the United States is so short sighted. They want to virtue signal so hard that
Yeah.
now they've committed. And so I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how
Aren't
it plays out.
aren't isn't the number like 90 some percent of the microprocessors made in Taiwan? Isn't that the
Yeah.
number? That's scary if that
And
all falls into China's hands.
well, not just that, all of the mines are owned by China and Africa.
Yeah. Oh,
And the one
China's
place in
already
the
at our air
United
bases in
States where we
Afghanistan
have
too.
the leases that we applied for that type of mining, Joe Biden just 3 weeks ago pulled those leases off the table to to,
Yeah.
to investigate the impact environmentally.
Yeah. It's I get their whole hey, let's clean up the environment shit. I get all that. But they're not paying
Mr.
attention
I
to
drive an electric car.
I like that dude, they're fucking great, man.
I'm just giving you a hard time.
But yeah, I get they want to clean up the environment and all. I mean, I'd like to see shit get cleaner. I mean, I like nature and the environment. I'm one of those I live in the fucking mountains. I
You're
like
a
this shit a
fucking
lot.
tree hugger, yeah, I get it.
But
No, I'm just
I
kidding.
mean, to a point, yeah. I mean, yeah, I'm not gonna chain myself to one when a bulldozer's going at it, but you know, I ain't stupid. But yeah, they want to clean up the environment. I mean, which I can agree with. That's a good thing, I guess. But at what cost? Because now you got this other country that is hell bent on taking over as being the number one superpower in the world from us. And we've been no fucking angel by any means. We've been
No.
shitty people all over the world with colonialization and imperialism and everything. But man, China puts their own people in fucking death camps and everything, you know? Like
Yeah.
they're evil. Like they're evil. They're bad people. And it's they you know, the United States, hey, let's, you know, clean things up and all. And it's like, all right, cool. While we're slowing down to try to clean things up, China's still fucking going full steam ahead to take shit over.
Right.
Their plan, what is that, by 2049 to be the number one world power? And in order for that to happen, we're gonna have to get into a fucking ring with them. We're gonna have to fight them. Like, and China knows that. We don't want to
Yeah.
come to terms with that yet. China knows we're gonna have to fight the United States in order
Yeah.
to take that number one, to take that, you know, that number one title from them.
Which is
And
probably why China is probably funding through one way or another a lot of these anti-Second Amendment organizations so that
yeah,
more legislation gets passed um, to demilitarize the citizenry, because that's the
yeah,
one thing that puts us in a, because regardless of how you feel politically, right? I don't give a fuck, you know, about the government. But if you see a country come into the United States, I guarantee every single person in this country is like, hell no, motherfucker. You take yourself somewhere else. This is our place, right?
so
Um,
yeah, that's when me and the boys are out in the mountains and training and doing all that shit. That's scenarios we're going over. It's not so
right.
much we're fighting other Americans. It's almost like fucking Red Dawn, like we're the Wolverines out
Yeah.
there. That's what I really see happening. I really see having to use, you know, us getting together, my little organization, my little group getting together to fight
I
Invader.
love
And
that
I
you do
would.
that, by the way.
And I fucking would. I would. I don't even like my own government being here. I sure as fuck ain't
Yeah.
gonna like somebody else's fucking government being here. You
And
know,
sure as fuck
get
not
the fuck
communist
out. I'm, you
government.
know, yeah,
Yeah.
get the fuck out. I'm trying to fight these guys, but yeah, I'll team up with these assholes here that I hate to kick you guys the fuck out. You goddamn
Right.
right. So like I love seeing that in Ukraine. I love seeing the Ukrainian people picking up arms and, you know, fighting the fucking Russians. Like that's the spirit that I like to see. Like fuck yeah, get them out of here.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, that's scenarios that we really go through. Um, I see China going after our power grid first. And man, once our power grid goes down, we're fucked. There's so
So
many people.
are
A lot
you
of people
set
will
up?
die.
Yeah.
Me,
Oh, yeah.
I'm
Are you set up
I'm
for like solar and
I'm
stuff at your new place?
I'm good. Yeah, I don't
I
want to say
figured you
too
were.
much publicly, but I'm okay. I mean, I could always be better. You can always be better. Um,
Sure.
but yeah, I'm all right. I've even recently given my mom and my brother some tips like, look, start getting stuff together.
Yeah.
We have a plan. We just got encrypted radios. Me and the boys. We got encrypted radios. They're in the Faraday boxes. We have, you know, we have that. If shit happens, get your radios. We have meeting places, everything. Like we're ready to go. Um, we
I
got
wish more
plans.
people were doing what you guys are doing there.
So it's not hard at all. It really isn't. Uh, I mean, it's just common sense and always have a plan. So pace. I learned that in the army. Pace, primary, alternate, contingent, emergency. Never don't have just one plan. Have
Right.
four. Have four plans, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, everybody should always be ready. I mean, my ultimate hope is that I never have to use any of that stuff.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want to see that. You know, like I don't like, well, not like the dire things. I mean, ultimately, at the end of the day, man, if shit actually just all collapsed, I'd love it. But just, I'd love it. You know, I would. Um, But I mean, I don't want to like anybody that sits there and says they want to fight and all is a fucking sociopath. I mean, always be ready to fight,
Right.
but always hope that you don't have to actually fight. Um, but yeah, always be ready. You know, I'd rather have something and not need it than need it and not, than need it and not have it. Just
Right.
that, just keep that mindset. That's all. You know. Yeah, and get together with some people, and there is strength in numbers. It's another saying that I use training the guys for the sales consultant thing that I do. Um, if you want to go somewhere quick, go alone. If you want to go somewhere far, take the right people with you.
Yeah.
So that's a good mindset to have. Build your teams. Get your team put together. So right now we have 82 guys. There's 82 of us.
That's so awesome.
All different backgrounds, like um, farmers, butchers, construction guys, shit like that, everything. Like, hey, if shit went bad right now, who do we need in order to get things going for us?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's fun. And we get together often, usually Tuesday nights. Uh, my buddy, Mr. Steve, he comes over my house like every Tuesday, and we just sit down and talk and think of new things. That's all. It's fun. It's fun.
That's
Like cool.
awesome.
What can we 3D print that can be fired out of a t-shirt launcher? Something like that. you know. Of course,
I have another
Alexa gets on.
controversial question for you.
Oh boy, here we go.
So some people gave me some shit, but not really. Like just whenever I first announced, like 3 weeks ago or whatever it was that you were coming on my show, they were like, "Isn't Felix the one that's against podcasts?"
That's
And
what?
that you're not a fan of podcasts, like you don't like podcasters or whatever.
It's not
And they were
podcasts.
asking
Yeah.
why you were willing to come on to my show
It's
when
it's
I'm a
not so much
podcaster.
it's not so much podcasts that I'm against. I listen to podcasts. I'm not a fan of a certain group, a certain circle of podcasts. Um, I'm not a fan of echo chambers.
Okay.
That's my problem. Um, there's like these podcast cliques
Yeah.
where there's like these few podcasts and they all only talk to each other and that's it.
Yeah.
And then it's this one and that. I don't like echo chambers. That's my problem.
Yeah.
So I've calmed down on the podcast talk and all. Because I wasn't saying it correctly. I
Okay.
wasn't expressing my feelings correctly.
Sure.
It made it seem like I was going after all podcasts. It's not all podcasts. I'm not. I started to get one of my own put together. I have the YouTube page and everything. I just got to do it. It's called Harmful Extremist Content. I started setting up guests and everything to have on it.
That's
Like I had
awesome.
this one girl who lives in fucking Compton, and she has an urban homestead in Compton,
Homestead. Yeah.
and it's like fuck yeah, I want to talk to the girl that has a homestead in fucking Compton. Like I want to talk to that person. I want to have
Yeah.
people on that can actually help people. Um, and podcasts have podcasts have a wide reach. Now,
Yeah.
when you have just a group and there's like you constantly have like the same 4 or 5 people on that are just quoting each other and
Right.
everything, that becomes
What are you
dangerous.
accomplishing?
That's where the brainwashing starts and all. And
Yeah.
it's very narrow minded. That's what I have a problem with. It's not podcasts. It's not all podcasters. Um, I listen, like I listen to a bunch. I do. I really do. Um, and a lot of times I sit there yelling at them as if they can hear me. But it, it's yeah. Uh, I don't like the echo chambers that some rings of podcasts create.
Sure.
That's my problem.
I think that's
Um,
fair.
they typically hold guys like Dave Smith, the high regard, and that fucking asshole like bringing the police if to wrangle up the homeless people and all. And then they all like, yeah, Dave Smith said call the cops, blah blah blah. Now we love the state and this and that and blah blah. It's echo chambers and hypocrisy is what I don't like. And there are some circles of podcasters that just contribute to all that. That's my problem. A lot of them have me blocked now, but even my new account on Twitter, it's like, oh wait, somebody, I can't see this. Oh, no, a podcaster has me blocked. Cool, whatever. I wonder why.
Oh shit.
No, yeah, it's that's my problem. I don't have a problem with podcasts. I love them. I think they're great. They're informative,
Yeah.
But just like anything else, I don't like when ideologies are weaponized. And that's kind of like what goes on in those little closed circles.
Right.
And then what they do is they rally up their supporters, their troops online, and
Yeah.
they start going on the attacks, and then people wind up getting doxxed, and oh, we didn't do it, we didn't have anything to do with it. It's like, well, it's one of your followers, and you guys aren't sitting there saying, hey, don't fucking dox people.
Yeah.
Instead, you're kind of like LOLing about it,
Right.
So, I mean, you may not have actually said, hey, go dox this person, but you're not telling your people to not fucking do that.
Right.
God, if anybody did something like that in my name, I'd fucking find out who it was and wring their fucking neck.
Yeah.
But that's my beef. But I've chilled with it. I haven't even spoken about it until just right now. Because
I wanted to clear the air because
they're not my I realize they're not my enemies.
Right.
They're not my enemies. It's whatever. I don't have anything personal against any of them. They can do their thing, and if you're dumb enough to fall for their 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 hypocrisies and all, then that's on you.
Yeah.
That's on you. But I don't know. I just find it funny they all, that they'll sit there talking about economics and they're economics experts and everything, but they got to start a GoFundMe to pay their own bills. You think somebody that was an economics expert would have their fucking shit more squared away, but
I don't know.
I don't
There's
know. That's just me.
Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez.
I don't know. That's just me. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez.
Yeah, she's an economics expert too.
Hey, guess what? One thing I'll give her credit for: when those storms hit Texas last year, she actually went out.
Yeah,
and
she went line by line on the items.
She proved that volunteerism can handle a lot of shit. Yeah. She did that fundraiser. She raised how many $1 million in just a couple of days?
Yeah.
She went out there and did that. I didn't see no libertarians trying to do anything about that or anything. It was the little socialist princess that fucking did it. Not them.
She also, I thought it was really interesting. She went through on, I think it was like on the military budget. And she's like, why are you contracting with these people at this dollar amount when this item only costs this much? It's like, why are you paying? She went through like line by line. I have a fair amount of respect for AOC. She's She's a lot smarter than people give her credit for. She's a socialist and a communist. Like, don't get me wrong, I don't agree with her policies, but she's not a fucking idiot like everybody.
No, she's not dumb at all. So none of those people that get in any of those positions are stupid. None of them. They're dumb. They're dumb like a fox.
Yeah.
You know, they're not dumb by any means. They are very smart, but they're like the sneaky smart.
Yeah.
The conniving smart. But no, she's intelligent. She's not dumb. As much as I disagree
Felix,
with
you're
her and
a
all.
cat. You could be put under that same the intelligent, sneaky, smart. Like, you could be one of those people.
Oh, I know how to get what I want.
I'm aware.
I know how to get what I want. But yeah, it's she did more for volunteerism than any libertarian ever has. Honestly, with that shit down in Texas with the storms. She did.
Yeah, did you see the guy? God, man, I'm trying to. Oh, the owner of Goya Foods. He just went over to Ukraine and he took. I think it was like, I don't know. I don't know the numbers, but it was like millions of dollars worth of food and a bunch of groceries, and directly gave it to the Ukrainian refugees. And it's like private solutions work so much better than government solutions, and I wish more people would acknowledge that.
Oh, 100%. Much less red tape, much less people trying to line their own pockets. I mean, Robin Williams put it best when he said politicians should wear a jacket like NASCAR just so we know who's paying them.
Who's sponsoring them, yeah.
Yeah, like seriously, it's not that. I think the most honest politician, the open and honest politician that I've ever seen in my life is probably Bernie Sanders. I don't know.
Thomas Massey's pretty good.
I don't agree with. Yeah, but he puts on a lot of that fucking dog and pony show. Too much of that stuff. But I think Bernie, as much as I disagree with all of his shit, I'll give him credit. He stands by what he says. He doesn't waver. You know. And truly, like, I think he genuinely, out of any politician out there, he probably seems to care the most than any politician I've seen in my life. But yeah, they're all trying to line their own pockets. But yeah, getting back to it, the AOC. How did we even get on the AOC? Oh, GoFundMe.
I don't know.
That's why.
This is what always happens.
I took a shot at the economics experts that live paycheck to paycheck. It seems kind of silly to me. So, you know, I mean, no offense, I get it. I've been there, but I don't know. It seems a little silly to take somebody seriously talking about economics when they can barely financially take care of themselves. But I don't know.
Jed gave a quote and said, Massey is greater than Bernie. And I have to say that I do agree 100%. Jed, Massey is way better than Bernie.
They all suck. Fuck them all.
I know you don't like politicians in general, but
they can both fucking die and I'll dance.
Oh my god, you're gonna get my fucking account. I'm trying to monetize and they're gonna be like, oop, there's an infraction. Oop, there's an infraction.
So here's something I've been thinking about. Who's running in the next election?
You asking me who I think is going to?
Yeah. Do you think it's going to be Biden and Harris back in there?
No.
Who's going to be in there?
For the Democrat side?
Yeah. You think Pete? You think Pete's going to get the nomination?
I think he is very much, because he is an Obama favorite. Yeah. And I mean, if we're being honest, that's who's running the show right now. I mean, you have almost every single cabinet member is an Obama cabinet member. Maybe a little bit of musical chairs shuffle as to who's in what department.
Who's the Secretary of State? What's that guy's name?
Antony Blinken.
He's running the show.
I
really think he's the one running the show.
I think it's Susan Rice.
We know it's not Biden. You know, everybody's
I'll be honest. Okay, so I'm going to throw out who I think is going to run for president for the Democrats.
Okay, let's hear it.
I think it's going to be Michelle Obama.
Really?
Yeah. I thought that she was going to be the Supreme Court nominee. And when she wasn't, that made me think that's who they're going to run for the president.
Huh.
Because she is extremely liked within the party.
She's got a chance at winning that.
Yeah. For
sure.
Yeah.
However, who's she running against? Who's getting it for the Republicans? Is it going to be Trump?
Yeah. I think Trump is 100% running. I wish that he wouldn't. I wish that he would use his power of persuasion on behalf of a Ron DeSantis nomination. But that's not going to happen.
Michelle versus DeSantis, Michelle would win.
I agree. I think Michelle versus anybody wins.
Yeah, she would win. Yeah, I can see that. But it's definitely Harris is out too, right? You think she's done?
Oh fuck yeah. That bitch is so far gone. As soon as they can get rid of her, it's like not even a thought.
So it's gonna be Michelle Obama.
I mean, that's just my guess. I've seen nothing that says that.
Michelle Obama versus Donald Trump versus Dave Smith. That's going to be the election, huh? No, Dave Smith's going to get the nomination for the Libertarians.
Yeah.
You don't think so?
No, I said yeah. I said yeah.
Oh.
I don't know.
Michelle Obama. Michelle Obama as our president.
Yeah. Dude, we're so fucked.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's gonna be bad.
I mean, I don't, like I said, I have seen nothing that says that. But if I'm in the DNC and you can't run Barack Obama again, even though you want to, like they all still have such a huge fucking hard on for that man. The next best thing is running his wife.
And then by proxy, you get him again.
Correct.
Yeah.
And she was a media darling.
Oh, yeah. Everybody loved her.
Yeah. So that's what I see in 2024 for sure.
Michelle Obama. Wow. Yeah. And maybe Pete as a running mate.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
now they're checking off every
identity box.
Every identity box with those two right there.
Yes. Female, minority, second vice president. So she's president now at this point. Male vice president, gay. Like you're literally. I'm getting like puke emojis.
They check off every box.
So I mean that's.
However,
if I were to,
I could see her beating DeSantis, but I see Trump beating her.
Really?
Do you know how many people? Do you know how many people will get out and vote just because they don't want? they will not want to see a black woman president. It's going to
Do you
happen.
think
It would happen.
racism?
Oh, yes, 100%. Yes. Yes. Like, we already had a black guy. We're not going to have a black lady now. And they're going to get out and fucking vote. Yeah. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. A lot of people will vote just for that. Yeah. I mean, yeah. I think Trump could beat Michelle, but Michelle could beat DeSantis. Because a lot of people will be like, I don't give a fuck. But
Yeah, my
but for
thing
Trump,
with
yeah.
DeSantis, he's done one thing that he did. He really handled the pandemic well, and
Yeah, he did.
he's the only one that did. There is not a single other person, Trump included, that can say they prioritized citizens' rights over the pandemic. Even Trump can't say that. So
No.
I think that from a liberty perspective, even though, I mean, Ron DeSantis is a bit further to the right than what I would personally like to see. But if you're going to look at it from the perspective of individual rights, I think DeSantis was the best over the course of the last 2 years.
Yeah. No, yeah, he did good.
And
Who's that
another thing
woman?
that I didn't
Who's
like
that
about
woman?
Trump,
Is she North Dakota or South Dakota? Who's that woman?
it's North Dakota, and it's Kristi
Yeah.
Noem. I'd
Yeah.
really love to see her too, but she won't. I mean, it just isn't going to happen.
No.
You've got
It's gonna
Nikki
be
Haley.
Lauren Boebert.
Come on.
Yo, I have an idea. Listen to this. Ready? I kind of like daydreamed about this whole scenario. Ready? So
Is
she
it
has
you and
that
me?
She has that
Okay.
restaurant. That was after.
I thought we were going to go run
this.
for president and vice president together.
No, I'm not running for office. Fuck, you know the amount of dirt they would dig up on me. God damn it. I wouldn't stand a chance. It's like, you did what when you were 16?
Right.
You know, I had this whole daydream. This is what goes on inside my head when I'm sitting around doing nothing all day. So I got that shirt that says, "Let's go Brandon, but fuck Trump too," you know?
Yeah.
So Boebert has that fucking restaurant, like, not really all that far from me, right?
Oh, really?
Yeah, she's here in Colorado.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so she has a restaurant. It's a barbecue place, I think. And apparently she goes there quite a bit. I have this dream of wearing that shirt like under a flannel shirt and then opening it up enough like, hey, look, just so she can
Oh,
only
hey,
see
by the way, hold on. It's South Dakota, not North Dakota. I'm an idiot.
Yeah, same thing, whatever. It's
shit. Not, because Mount Rushmore is in South Dakota.
Well, yeah, that's where they stole that land. But that was like a sacred rock to the natives, and they were like, "Cool, we're gonna put Teddy fucking Roosevelt on it." But I had that daydream where I open up my shirt and Lauren Boebert sees the "Let's Go Brandon" part of my shirt,
Right.
and she gets all excited, and I'm like, "Yeah, take a picture with me." She gets next to me, and I open up the rest of the shirt, and I get her to smile and point where it says "Let's go Brandon, but fuck Trump too," and just get that picture and post it up on social media. And then I finally
This
reach
is
a
what
million.
you think about when you're daydreaming.
Yeah, this is what goes through my head. Yeah. Yeah, this is just what goes on in my head. How can I get Lauren Boebert? How can I get Lauren Boebert to point to a "fuck Trump" thing on my shirt? That's I've accomplished enough in life that I could sit back and think on the fine details now.
Oh, dude.
Oh, let's talk about trans people.
Okay.
Um, I'm pro-trans. I'm okay with trans people. They have every right to exist. Um, I don't like the indoctrination that the far left. I don't call these people liberal. They're not liberal. That's not liberal. JFK was a liberal. These people are not liberal. They're beyond that.
Right.
They're way the fuck out there.
For sure.
Uh, they
Not trans people, right?
not trans people. No, not trans
Okay.
people. No, not trans people. Shout out to Caitlyn Jenner. They but these teachers in the schools that are doing all of this shit, none of them are trans. They're just straight white women, the Beckies that I like to call them. You know, Becky, the ones that born and raised in white, you know, in Whiteyville, out in the suburbs. You know, with some fucking privilege. Never
Becky
saw a
from
moment.
Whiteyville. So every Mom's
Becky,
Demand Action member.
yes, and it's BECCI, Becky. It's specific. Um, Becky. Becky is the girl that, you know, she lives out in fucking Whiteyville in Crackerville, um, with some privilege, never faced a moment of adversity her entire life, who sits there and tells minorities what they should be upset about. That's
Right.
that's what it's them. She is not trans herself. She is not one of the LGBTQA plus whatever. You know, she's straight. You know, a straight cis is a cisgender. Is that what it is? Whatever.
Sure.
That is really pushing and promoting this shit in the public schools on the kids. It's not
Right.
trans people that are doing that. It's not. Trans people are like, look, we just want to be fucking accepted as being people too. That's it.
For sure.
Um, it's the people that fucking Uncle Ted warned us about. Um,
Dude, I watched that
read read
documentary the other day. It's really good.
read
Or not
read the second
documentary.
read the read the second chapter of his manifesto, and it goes over these people, that they use minorities to push their agenda, the far left.
Yeah.
Um, and he fucking hit the nail right on the fucking head, with them. Everybody, I see a lot of people that say a lot of like anti-trans shit on Twitter, and I don't like it. I don't like it. It's they're just fucking people trying to live their life. They just want to be accepted as being you and me. You know, that's all.
Right.
Um, the your anger is not with them. Your anger is with the people that is not them, that are trying to push this big agenda. That's where your anger is.
Right.
Um, Now, where the trans community can come in, the trans community should come in the same way the black community should jump in and tell Becky that she doesn't fucking speak for them. She's not one of them. She doesn't fucking speak for them. Um, that's where your anger is. We're focusing our anger in the wrong direction, and we're marginalizing a group of good people. You know, like they're not doing any. Trans people aren't doing anything wrong. They just want to fucking live their life. A lot of us, the way that a lot of us in the liberty community constantly say, we're always saying, you know, we just want to see everybody live their own lives the best way that they see fit for themselves. And that's what
Sure.
these people are doing. If you were born Joe, but you want to be called Jane, that's fucking fine with me. I don't have a problem with that. Um,
Right.
you know, uh, that Jane now is not our problem. It's these people pushing this agenda that feel as though that any minority group isn't they're not smart enough to do it themselves. It's
Right.
almost fucking insulting. It is. It's insulting uh, that they feel like they need to carry that fucking cross for everybody. It's
Yeah.
like, I'm sorry. I grew up in a very diverse neighborhood. All the black people I grew up around were strong fucking people that could do things
Yeah.
themselves. They don't need your fucking help. They can do it themselves. Well,
So
I'm sure
hold on. I want to.
they would accept your help. They like by all means they'll accept your help, but we don't need this, you don't need to speak for them. Um,
Sure.
and the ones that are speaking for them, it's not like me. I'll speak for them saying, hey, leave them the fuck alone. Let them live their lives. Let them do what they're doing. Joe becoming Jane has no fucking effect on your life whatsoever. It doesn't. That has
Right.
no, what somebody else does with their genitals or doesn't do with their genitals doesn't affect my life at all. Um,
Yeah.
so like let them live and by all means, yeah, you can speak with them, but don't speak for them. That's the people that we're having the problems with. I don't like that shit in the schools. No, I saw that thing about the no sex talk before third grade. I'm okay with that. Kids
Yeah.
shouldn't be learning about that shit, especially that age.
Yeah.
They don't need to know about that stuff. What all they need to know is, hey, people have things down there. Don't touch it. Don't touch other people in those places. That's all you need to be focusing on with kids when it comes to that stuff.
Right.
Don't stay away from the no-no areas. You know, that's all
Right. Oh
kids
my
need to
God.
know.
You're gonna make me look up the no no dance from like Sweden or wherever the fuck it was. Do you remember
Yeah,
that? Where you're like, no, this is a no no.
the no-no. Yeah, stay away from the no-no areas. That's all kids need to know. This is your private area. This is what private means. So keep those things private. That's all
Right.
kids need to know. They don't need to know, well, some people are born this way and some people are born that way. Let them figure that shit out on their own when they get a little bit
Right.
older. Um, and the ones that are, bragging about promoting that stuff in their classrooms on TikTok, they're not trans people. That's not them. So when I see people on Twitter, like, um, just like bashing trans people and all. It's like, dude, you're not upset with them. Identify your
Right.
target and fucking aim for that. It's not them.
Yeah.
It's these goddamn Beckys. I can't fucking stand them. Becky, Becky canceled Aunt Jemima. Becky canceled Uncle Ben. Becky canceled the girl from Land O'Lakes Butter. However, they got rid of the girl, but they kept the fucking land on the box. Go figure, Whitey. Um, like it's. Do you notice that? Do you notice
Yeah.
that on Land O'Lakes Butter now? All the land is there, but the native girl is gone. you know,
Right.
like go figure.
Shocker.
You know, like Becky canceled these people. That wasn't black people saying Aunt Jemima was offensive. It was
Right.
Becky. You know, that's our
So
big enemy is they're fucking the people pushing this fucking culture war. I don't know. It's fucking
well, so
makes
I
me
want
mad.
to like let's talk specifically about the Leah Thomas situation because I'm curious to hear your thoughts about this.
Oh, I have an
Um,
opinion on this. That
okay.
contradicts everything I just said.
Okay. So tell me your opinion.
You and me are not built the same physiologically.
Nope.
Not at all.
Obviously.
Not
No.
at all. Um, I think Leah Thomas Leah Thomas deserves a chance to compete.
Yes.
She does.
We
She
agree
deserves a
on that.
chance to compete. However, it's not fair. It's just not fair to people that are born biologically female. It's just
Yeah.
not. Men are physiologically built to do that kind of shit.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that's just how it is, and it's not fair. It almost seems like I want to say like just do away with gender shit altogether in all these competitions and just make it all co-ed.
no
However,
female would ever win a
no
sport.
female would ever have a chance. You know, the
I mean,
WNBA would not
in
exist.
sports that are not physiologically demanding. So there's a girl that did an entire thread on this, and she was skeet shooting is one of the examples. Okay, I can see a female winning at a chess tournament or a skeet shooting match, or something where there's not a true physical toe-to-toe situation. And
Right.
so yes, I do contend that it is possible for a female to beat a male in a sport, but it very much varies on what that sport is. I quote tweeted her and I said, "Tell me you've never played ball with the boys downtown without telling me you've never played ball with the boys downtown." Because there's a huge fucking difference.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like I have a daughter. She's a competitive athlete. And if she were to try to compete with boys in the same sport that she does, she wouldn't be able to compete with them.
Yeah. So if they opened it up, the WNBA now, where
Right.
there wouldn't be any women in it. It would be all men. It would be.
Okay, so I want to be
so
really, really careful. Like men who have transitioned to women, I want to make sure that I be respectful about the fact that we're not talking about just like you going on to a men's as a man going onto the floor. This is somebody who has transitioned. So I just want to be respectful of that.
Right. So yeah, it's almost like if we just did away with that, made it all co-ed, then I mean, honestly, how many female athletes, professional athletes, do we know that could compete with the men? Besides, like the Williams sisters in tennis, I think they would be really the only ones that can compete in a sport.
That you say that.
You know,
the Williams sisters made a comment that they could beat any man in the like top 200 or whatever. And the male who was in the 203rd position went on and beat both of them. So it was like their comment or their theory was false.
Okay, then I guess I'm wrong because they were the only two female athletes that really came to my mind that
like there are some long distance runners that could compete because women are better at like from a breathing perspective and stuff like that. But I'd say we'd move into a position where we weren't very competitive anymore.
Yeah, there's it's almost like there has to be like a third.
So that was what my solution was. You have the Special Olympics, and that is for individuals who want to compete but are not at the same level or with the particular. So why not have a transgender division? Why not have all transgender males competing against one another and all transgender females competing against one another? Why can't there be a separate league similar to what we do in that regard?
Right. There should be. Because they do. I think trans people deserve a chance. However, it still has to be fair for everybody else.
Yep.
It does. It has to be fair. I saw that was Leah Thomas, right? Is that the name? Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw the swim, the race, and like it wasn't even fucking close. Like not even close. Yeah. It goes to show you. Before she transitioned, when she was Michael Thomas, I think it was before, in her past life, whatever. She was ranked like 400 and something. And then as soon as the transition happens, boom, number one, and the space between 1 and 2 wasn't even close.
Yeah.
it's not fair and it sucks. And being a father of daughters and all, I don't want to see my daughters get pushed out now
Yeah.
because now they're not going to have a chance at these things. Um, it's different. We are physiologically built. I mean, all day long, I'll respect Leah Thomas's life and her decisions to go through that change or whatever it is. By
Right.
all means, she has every right to do that. Um, but at the same time, she needs to be responsible enough to say, like, this isn't fair to these people that I'm trying to become a part of.
Sure.
You know, yeah, it's just not. It's just not. It's not fair. It's not
Yeah.
fair. It's not fair to. It's not fair to women that were born biologically female. It's not fair. Um, yeah, it's like there needs to be like separate divisions now.
Right.
Because even like female to male, what are the odds that a female to male is going to be given a chance now
Well, what are the
against
odds
against
if it's a female that went through puberty as a female and then transitioned afterwards? The
no
amount of
chance?
testosterone that she would have to inject herself with, or himself at that point, to be competitive with other males who went through puberty, it would be.
Yeah.
Not to mention, and I mean, I'm not, I'm not a scientist or anything, but I can't imagine what these people are doing to their bodies. Like, she's
Yeah.
having to put herself through massive amounts of hormone therapy to maintain the transition. And then you're putting yourself through wild physical abuse from an athletic perspective. So your body's natural inclination is to pump more testosterone and
Yeah.
and counteract the hormones that you're injecting yourself with to become more feminine. So I can't imagine what you're doing to the inside of your body. You're trying to rearrange your chemical composition. And I don't know. And I'm not saying that they shouldn't. I'm not saying that I don't agree with it. I have friends that are trans and I respect them and their decisions. I understand why they're going, like, why they're making the decision that they are. My problem is that I worry about someone like Leah Thomas because of what she's doing to her body. Does that make sense?
Yeah. No. Yeah. No. You're right. Um, this before trans was like it was just the cross dresser. There
Right.
wasn't the actual like medicinal uh side of it where like, oh,
Right.
you can take these hormones and all. That's still kind of newer if I'm correct there. I could be wrong, but from what I understand, that's kind of new. Before it used to just be like, oh, that's a cross dress. It was just a guy who just put
Yeah.
on a dress
Like, it was like
and identified as a woman. We don't see the long-term effects of
transsexual
this stuff. Yeah.
disappeared. Like, somebody who was transsexual, like where they just
Yeah.
dressed or acted as if they were the other, versus now it's transgender, where you're literally trying to change your scientific makeup.
Right. Because
Like, I don't
sex is
even know that it's
specific.
people are called trans. Like, what's the difference? Like, I don't even know between transsexual and transgender.
I don't know. But transsexual was the stuff that like I kind of grew up with back in my day. you know,
Felix.
no, yeah,
Well, this just took a turn.
Mom, in case you're wondering where all your panties went.
Oh my god. Uh, if people watch the playback on this, I don't even know like how many people are actually watching right now, but holy shit, man.
No, yeah, it used to just be like yeah, we didn't even really call him transsexual. It was like that's a cross dresser, like that's
Right.
just what it was. And and I mean that's just what they were referred to.
Yeah.
It was just like this guy just dressing up like a girl. We didn't fully understand it because I mean we never really had that discussion. That was just stuff
Yeah.
that you didn't speak about.
You didn't
You didn't.
talk about that.
You didn't talk
You didn't
about
talk
it.
about the
That's
fact
just
that you put your mom's
no.
shoes on at night.
And I kind of wish it was that way today too. Like we don't need to be so concerned with what other people are doing. You know, it's
Yeah,
not
I don't
affecting my
want to
life.
know. Like, like you, boo. Like, dude,
Yeah,
you know what's crazy? I'm sitting here, I'm holding on to one of my daughter's teeth. That's how fucking
that's weird.
crazy I am. I know, it's
That's
super
weird.
weird. I've been sitting here playing with it for like the last 15 minutes, not thinking about what I'm actually playing with.
Well, at least it's not a stranger's tooth. That would be really weird.
Well, she came down the other day and she's like, so there's two of them up here because right around Christmas, she lost two of her teeth and she had lights on all over her fucking room. So I couldn't sneak in to get the teeth. So I lied and said her elf bumped into the tooth fairy on his way back to the house.
That's your
So
kid ain't
she
watching
could
right
just
now.
keep her tooth. So she came down the other day and was sitting here and she goes, Mama, are you the tooth fairy? I
Oh
just
boy.
died laughing. And I was like, what made you think that? And she goes, because I still have my teeth here. I was like, but then today she made a comment about the Easter Bunny and Santa Claus being friends. And I was like, maybe she just thinks I'm the tooth fairy and still believes in the other two people.
I'd have played it off. I'd have made her feel bad. Am I the tooth? Do I have wings? The fuck do you mean? Do I look like a
Am
fairy
I
to you?
teeny tiny? Do I fucking fly?
Yeah. Do you see wings on my back? Stupid kid. Come on.
Oh, man.
I'd have made him feel bad about himself. She's like, damn. I should have never
Honestly,
listened to
like
her.
I struggled so much with whether or not to do the whole like Santa Claus tooth fairy thing because I didn't want to lie to her.
How old is she?
And
How old is she?
9,
9? Ah,
yeah.
eh. It's not. I mean, I don't consider that lying. That's not really a lie. A lie is designed to hurt somebody. You know what I mean? That's
Yeah.
not really a. That's not. I don't. You're not lying to them. You know. You're just. It's more like you're playing. And it's more fun. It is. It's much more
Well,
fun when they still believe in all that shit. It is. It's more fun because then they stop believing in it and they're like, just give me money. You know what I mean?
right.
Like they just become
Well,
ungrateful.
and two, I do want to say the one thing that I do appreciate about this whole concept is that it gave her the ability to have blind faith in something that she cannot see. And if
Yeah.
down the road she wants to apply that to some sort of religious aspect, then that's good.
Yeah.
But even in herself, like it gives her the ability to believe in something, whether it's right there in front of her or not. And so I think that maybe that's what I just used to justify it to myself.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I don't view it as lying. It's you're not really hurting anybody.
Do you
And
have
I don't
any
even
that are still old enough, like young enough to? Do you are any of your
yeah,
kids?
yeah,
Yeah, I thought so.
yeah. But yeah, you know, and the older ones they know, don't say anything. You know,
Yeah,
they're not dicks. They still play along with it and all too. But
that's good.
yeah, I don't view it as lying. You know, I never even told I let the older ones bring it up to me. You know,
Right. Well,
I
that's
don't
like
even
her marching in here with these teeth. I was like,
I don't even really I don't even really remember how old I was when I kind of figured it out, you know.
yeah.
I don't remember that, but um one of my
I
older brothers probably
remember I
told me.
was 10 years old So I was, or 12. I was 12 years old. But it's because my dad was a really good fucking liar. My dad, like, so like I thought I knew, but then shit would happen and I'd be like, damn, my parents could have done. You know, like it's just because you kind of still want to believe. So but
Yeah.
I'm also incredibly fucking gullible and naive. Like it's fucking pathetic. So, you know, I'll tell you a funny story about my dad real fast. So you know that like indentation that's like right here on your lip, like between your nose and the top of your lip, that little indentation.
Isn't that called like your cleft or something like that?
I think that's yeah, maybe. I don't know. So
Yeah.
my dad told my brother when he was little that when you're born, there's a machine that goes on your head and that it rests right there and then it cuts your lips open for you because you're born without a mouth. And so my brother believed that and like forever. He thought that that's where that came from. And then one time we had a bunch of like cassette tapes that didn't have anything on them. And my brother asked what those were. And my dad looks at me and he starts like pretending he's speaking Chinese. And I pretend back. And I looked at my brother and I'm like, that's our Chinese lessons. You just can't know them. And so my dad, for years, he and I would go back and forth and pretend we could speak Chinese to one another. My brother thought I spoke fluent Chinese until he was a junior in high school. I'm not fucking kidding. Like, it was forever that he believed this. And so to this day, my brother has huge fucking trust issues. He believes nothing that I tell him because my dad and I fucking ruined him for life. Oh, man.
My brother, so he's older than me. He was asking me before. I was probably like 18, 19 at the time. So he's in his early 20s. He was asking me because I was more of the outdoorsy person of the family. You know, we grew up in Philadelphia. I was the actual like the outdoors. I do all the hiking
You're
and
the
the
one
fishing and all
running
that
away
shit.
from home to go to the woods.
Yeah, right. But yeah, so yeah, he was a city guy. He didn't really know the difference, and he knew like a duck was a duck, but he didn't know there were different kinds. But he was asking me, he's like, "So what are the ones with the green heads?" I'm like, "Those are mallards." He's like, "What are the ones without the green heads?" I was like, "Oh, those are the girl ducks." And he's like, "Well, what are they called?" I was like, "Femallards." And he believed it. So he thought all ducks with green heads were boys and all the other ones were girls, and there were mallards and femallards. And then probably about 10 years later, I'm back home on leave. And when I see him, he punches me right in the fucking chest. I'm like, "What the fuck is that for?" He's like, "Oh, is that work?" And I called a duck with a brown head a femallard, and everyone started laughing at me.
Oh my god, that's funny.
He was like in his early 30s.
Oh man.
Yeah. So for like a decade, from like his early 20s to early 30s, he thought that they were mallards and femallards.
Oh
He's not a
shit.
dumb guy. He's not a dumb guy. It's just one of those things where he didn't know about it and he thought I was actually just educating him. So got him. It made me wonder, like, well, how many other people did he say this to where they
Yeah,
looked at
no
like he had two
shit.
fucking
So how many
heads?
people, it's like 6 degrees of separation. How many people in the world are now calling female mallards
Female.
mallards? I'm fucking crying.
I
God.
love this shit. I love
Stefan
fucking
said this shit is comedy gold.
fucking femailers.
Uh,
Nah, we've all had that shit happen to us. We all fall for bullshit sometimes. But
yeah,
no,
I
you're not
voted
lying.
for Mitt Romney.
I voted.
Oh shit.
What else is going on in the world? You want to talk about electric cars?
No. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I do. You know what I want to say about electric cars?
What?
Is they're not any better for the environment than regular gas cars.
Oh yeah, I know. That's not why I drive one. I know they're not. I know it the amount of shit that goes into making one is
Yeah,
just as bad as driving a gas powered car for 20 years. I know that.
yeah.
That's not why. That's not why I drive one. I got one just
Is
because
it
it's
because you're gonna
fucking.
have to pay $20,000 for a replacement battery in 10 to 15 years?
I probably won't even have it by then. I go through cars like, like so I'm a car guy. Like I'm a car guy. Like cars are my
Yeah.
shit. Yeah, yeah, I'm a car guy. I try not to talk about it too much. I actually have a whole
Wait, hold on.
separate
Can I tell you a secret about me?
share.
Do you know my uncle is the CEO of Porsche?
Those happen to be my favorite cars.
I know.
You know that already?
Yeah,
Yeah. How'd you know that?
I think we've talked about it before.
Uh, I have a few, um, including my electric one. That's why I got it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah. Um, yeah, I'm a car guy. I actually have a Twitter account that I do not have it interact with my
Oh,
the
you
account
don't
the account.
disclose it.
Oh no, yeah, I don't disclose it. My face is not on there. My name is not on there. Just I post my cars on it, and I talk to other people about. I'm in car Twitter. There's a whole world out there. It's awesome.
You know what is fucking crazy to me? That Twitter
What?
is so diverse and I never get to touch any other parts of it. It pisses me off because I'm fairly versatile in the things that I'm interested in, but
Yeah.
I never like get exposed to or touch those other parts of Twitter.
So I first got on Twitter like October of 2020. I haven't been on all that long, but and Jesus, I'm on like my eighth fucking account since then. Um, Meanwhile, my car Twitter has been fine for over a year now. But like I tried on my account, I tried doing the car stuff when I first got on, and because I had a couple friends that were on it,
On
and
your
then I
Felix
just
account?
yeah on my very very first one,
Okay.
uh, the the Meow Bombs one that I had, the very very first one that I
Yeah.
had. Um, yeah, they I tried, but I just did so much like political talk on it. Twitter just started curating it for me
Yeah.
for politics, like politics. I actually made a whole other account and only do car shit on it. Now, all my suggested stuff on it is car stuff and everything. That's what I
Right?
had to do. Yeah, but
Which is stupid. It shouldn't work that way.
no, no, it shouldn't. But I understand Twitter is trying to customize your experience, and they think like, well, oh damn it, we lost her again. Ah, you were here with the Felix show. Ah, shit, she's coming back. Never mind.
Fuck.
Yeah, you're back now. Hi.
What? Were you getting ready to moon the camera?
No, I was just making it the Felix show. Um, uh, hostile takeover, like Zelensky taking over the media. Um, but
Hi, Tabby. I see you.
oh yeah, like I get, I like, it sucks, but I understand why Twitter does it. They want to, I don't know, they want you to just stay focused on something, you know?
Yeah.
Um, I kind of like it that way. So it keeps it more, I like it where it's the two separate things because it keeps it more clean, you know? Keeps
Well,
things neat
and
and
I was
tidy.
going to say too, I was going to actually contradict myself. What I do appreciate is the ability to curate. So, like, I always crack the joke Facebook is people that you're friends with in real life. Twitter are
Yeah.
the people that you wish you were friends with in real life. And it's because
Right.
you've curated this perfect group of people that you get along with because you're so like-minded and you have things in common.
But
So,
does everybody on Twitter really get along?
well, not in Liberty Twitter, but
There's always fighting.
for people being
It's that
so,
meme where the stick figure guys come in and they're just shitting all over everybody. That's Liberty Twitter. Like, that's all it is.
it's like it's so funny because it's a group of people that like believe in liberty and you know, you do you, but only you do you if it's like what I like. It's like,
Did you see my thread about that the other day?
no.
Oh, I did a whole thread about that. About like, like I believe in people living their best lives as long as it, but if you do anything with your life that I wouldn't do with mine, then I am going to judge, shame, and ostracize you, and blah, blah, blah. And that's what it is. That goes on. And I fucking hate it. I hate that. People
Yep.
are for people that are supposed to be so liberty minded, they are always worried about what other fucking people are doing with their
Yeah.
lives. Seriously, that shit has no effect on your life at all. It doesn't,
Right.
And I said, like, I don't care what he does with his dick. I don't care what she does with her tits. I don't care what that person does with it. It's not my fucking business. Like,
Right.
like Liberty Twitter needs to stop being Liberty police. They really do. Like
Yeah.
they like there are no guidelines to the only guideline to that I see to liberty is don't interfere with someone else's life. That's the only guideline I see needs to be that needs to be said. Other than
Right.
that, whatever the fuck you want to do with your life, as long as you're not interfering with someone else's life, fucking have at it. You know, the only
Yeah.
time I'll speak up is if they are stepping on someone else's toes.
Yeah.
Um, and that's the only guideline that we need. Don't fuck with somebody else's life. Do whatever you want to do. Don't bring other people into it.
Yeah.
That's when it becomes a problem. However, they all want to sit there and bash. Like it was like the what it was like I see people like, oh, hookup culture, blah blah blah. It's like, cool, you don't like it, don't fucking do it then. Like plain and
Right.
simple. Nobody's forcing you to fucking participate in hookup culture if you don't want to fucking be in hookup culture.
Yeah.
It's that don't do it. But don't judge the people that do. God forbid some people like to fuck. Who cares? Like, who cares? As long as everybody that they're fucking is a consenting adult, there's no problem.
Right.
Let them go. You know. Um, yeah, that shit bothers me, man. Like stop being so worried about what somebody else has on their plate and worry about your own.
Yeah.
Like that's there's
And it's funny,
nothing.
it's really easy for them to preach about it from a governmental perspective and say, oh, stop going into other countries, stop involving yourself in other situations. They have a really hard time of like thinking about that coming from themselves, where they're like, oh,
Yeah,
wait, I'm intervening and interjecting in other people's situations and lives. Maybe I shouldn't be doing that. Like and I'm not speaking like just so everybody knows. I'm not like subtweeting in the middle of this conversation. I'm not talking about anybody specifically. I'm actually talking broadly. I find that people very often are really good and pointing out when other people have issues or fallacies or things that they don't agree with, but they have a really hard time doing any sort of introspection in that. And I think that's societal. I don't even think it's specific to Liberty Twitter.
Yeah. Yeah, Liberty
Okay, wait, hold on. Let's
Twitter.
go back to electric cars because I do want
Oh
to talk
shit,
about
there we
this.
go. Okay, let's go.
So
I like them.
it's not that I don't like them. They're not affordable for the average human.
Yes.
And
Thank you for saying I'm above average.
You, fuck you. They're going to be even more expensive. Like if you look, so China has capitalized and monopolized the mining industry in Africa, which is where the majority of these materials come from. And they've turned around and they've spiked the price of things like lithium carbonate to the point where it's more than like quadrupled over the course of the last year for the cost for the same amount of tonnage. So we're going to be in a position where our own government is saying, let's cut our nose off in spite of our face because you should be driving electric. Only to, at the same time, be watching another country turn around and monopolize that. It's going to be yet another product that we have put ourselves in a position that we cannot manufacture and we cannot maintain without a reliance on China or some other group of people for it.
And that goes back to what I said earlier, where we're pumping the brakes while China is still going full steam ahead.
Yeah.
You know,
like we're busy fucking around with Russia and Ukraine. We should be creating partnerships with people in Africa. We should be going to Mexico and creating relationships and partnerships for production. It may not be child labor that we get in China, but it could be less expensive labor. And guess what? If you build up those industries, we stop having people funnel across our border in mass migration numbers because you're creating environments where they have jobs and the ability to provide for their families where they're at there.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, we allowed ourselves to become dependent on China. We did it to ourselves. We did. China saw a chance, saw an opportunity, and they took it, and they won. They won. We're not going to be able to catch back up to them now. You know,
Nope.
we're
Which
not.
is why I practice Mandarin every single day now.
Not me. Fuck them. Yeah, I don't know. This is why I've made great strides to be as self-sufficient as possible. And that's my suggestion. That's my suggestion to everybody. It's not too late to start doing that. Start taking strides to be self-sufficient as possible.
Yeah, I'd like to see you and Justin Nazaroff from Phoenix Ammunition, like some of you guys who have really put yourself in a position, you know, setting up well water, solar, all that kind of stuff. I think Cato is someone else who's been doing that with his new property in Kansas. So just getting people who have done it to, in simplified format, say, okay, here's step one. This is something you can focus on. Go do this right now. And then people can put that into action. Because I think sometimes, even myself, I get overwhelmed when I start looking for or looking into ways that I can start creating more independence for myself and my family. I get overwhelmed and I'm like, man, this is a lot. And I don't know if I can do all of this because you feel like you have to do it all at once. So having somebody just saying, okay, here's step one, go do this right now.
Defense.
And then report back in a month.
Defense is always step one. Always step one. You start with defense.
Yeah.
Defense is
Yeah,
the best
there's not enough
offense.
people. Well, I mean, there's plenty of people that are doing it, but there are plenty of people who are not, and that's going to be really disappointing.
So, the way I based mine off of when it came to like gathering supplies and all, and for importance is so we had classes in the Army, class 1, class 2. So like so let me pull up the Google so I can I'm not getting it wrong here.
You really are knocking on the door of 45, the Google,
The Googles. So
the
it's the classes of supply, right? Class 1 is food, rations, and water. Class 2, clothing. Class 3, petroleum, oils, and lubricants. Class 4, fortification and barrier materials. It goes on. You can just Google this. It makes sense. I saw it work while I was in the Army, and that's what coming up with my supplies. That's where I based my stuff on. Start there,
Hey,
and then
I have a question really fast.
okay.
So, a friend of mine was telling me the other day that when Trump was in office, he passed legislation that permitted anyone who is a veteran and has veteran status, either with their DD 214 or with their veteran card, that they can shop at the PX. Is that correct?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't take advantage of that, dude. Even my VA money, I donate it. I don't even accept it. I just donate it. So I don't really pull that card too often.
Yeah.
Which is a shame
I was
because
just
actually
curious.
from
Him
where I'm
saying it and
sitting,
then talking to you made me think of it.
so let me show you something really quick. Ready? So
Oh
we're out
God.
on my
Okay.
deck. We're out on my deck, right? So that's Colorado Springs. When I turn this way,
Oh,
see all
there it
those
is.
lights? See those lights right there? That's
Yeah.
Fort Carson. That's Fort Carson.
Okay.
That's Fort Carson right there. That's what you're seeing, all those lights out there. I live right there, and I don't know. I don't go on it. I drive past it every single day coming up to my house here. But I don't know. That might be true that veterans can. Um, I mean, that would be cool because you can save a ton of money if you get the, because it's tax free.
Well, and I
Um,
also think if shortages approach, if you are a veteran, the PX is always going to have food priority
yeah.
over other locations. So,
Oh, we lost her again. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the Felix Show. I'm your host, Felix, and here comes Heather.
oh man, sorry.
God damn it. God damn it. It's Biden's fault. Um,
No, it's my
no,
shitty internet box's fault.
I'm not sure. I'll look into that though. But yeah, when it comes to like getting yourself ready, the first step should be the classes. Use that as a guide on,
Yeah.
plus I mean, you don't have to stick to it. So like I changed it around. So the one class is like personal items, I think is class 6, but personal items fell along like hygiene stuff. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
that's what personal items. That's like that's what that is. It's more like hygiene items. We're not talking about like your fucking Pokemon collection or some shit like that. Um, unless
So
that's
my
really
Harry Potter
unless it's
Legos
real.
are not
If that's
going
important
to
to
be a
you,
priority.
then fucking have at it. Then go from there, and then um, electric is overlooked. Electricity really is overlooked. Uh, but yeah, that class 1, food and water, that is always going to be the most important. And then start branching out from there. It's like, I mean, yeah, you can get a shitload of like canned foods and everything like that. Then like if you don't know how to hunt, learn how to hunt. If you don't
Yeah.
know how to butcher an animal, learn
Fish.
how to butcher an animal. If you don't know how
Yeah.
to plant plant vegetables or whatever, learn how to do that shit. Because
Yeah.
canned goods are only going to last so long, you know? That's what I tell everybody. Start there. Start the Army classes of supply. Go step by step. Get the basics for each one of those classes, and then go back and expand on each one.
Sure.
That's what I say. So like class 3 is petroleum and oils and shit. Expand that out to include electricity and shit. You know, anything that could be used for power, some sort of power.
Right.
So start there. Yeah, just that's my recommendation. That's what helped me. That's what I did. But I like the very first thing anybody should do is defense, because if somebody finds out you got all this shit and they don't have it, they're gonna
They're
fucking come
coming
to
for
get it.
it.
They're gonna
Yeah.
come for it, you know. So just make sure you're able to defend you and your family first, and yeah, and then just go from there. Worst comes to worst, you know how to use weapons. If you don't have any of that stuff, you come looking for somebody like me and you try to fight me for mine.
Somebody
Hey, I'm
said
all
that
for.
to Susie. Somebody said that to
I'm all,
Susie Barlow yesterday or the day before, and they were like, "I'm gonna come take all your shit." She was like, "Bring it, motherfucker."
you know, like I'm all for survival of the fittest. You know, I am. Oh, welcome back to the Felix show. Heather will be back
I
right
think
now.
my internet's gonna die anyway.
Goddamn internets,
I know,
Elon. Let's talk
but
about Elon Musk.
okay. So I stand Elon Musk. I actually really love him a whole lot, but not for anything that most people like him for. I really love him for his school that he started at Tesla, and he's made the program available. Ainsley was actually a beta tester for the program, and it's really, really good. It forces kids to start thinking critically again. So they're issued with a problem, and the problem doesn't have a correct answer. You just have to solve it somehow. So there's no right answer. It's just however you get to the end.
Okay.
And it does it with math, it does it with science, it even does it somewhat with reading. Like it's the way that it formulates certain things. It forces you at the end of a paragraph or phrase or whatever, it forces you at the end of that to kind of like expand upon where you think that story is going and kind of finish writing it yourself. So it's a really, really good program. I highly recommend it. I love his mom, and just his brain in general. Like he's a super fucking genius.
Yeah.
And so like politics aside, government subsidies aside, like all of the reasons that people hate Elon Musk, I understand all of those frustrations, but him as a person, he's one of my top 3 like once for my podcast. Like I would love to sit down and interview him and talk nothing about electric cars. Like just talk about a whole bunch of other shit.
Okay. I'll see what I can do if I can make that happen.
My other 2 are Aaron Lewis and a Holocaust survivor. So, you know, if you've got any of those in your back pocket too,
You better get on that Holocaust survivor one, because
I know.
they're all probably pretty old right now. I don't know how many of those are going to be
I found
around.
a girl the other day whose mother is a Holocaust survivor, and she's like, well, she has a hard time with email. So I was like, motherfuck. Like, or
so
even
who's
like
the
Queen of England.
Who is your other one?
Aaron Lewis.
Aaron Lewis from Stained, really?
Yeah.
I hate that country boy song.
I really love his personality. I got to meet him. He would never remember it, but I saw him live in Louisville at the Palace Theater.
Yeah.
And I got to meet him after he finished performing. And he's just like a really down-to-earth human who has seen and been through some wild fucking shit. So
You know?
I don't know, I'd love to sit down and have a conversation with him, especially because he's incredibly vocal about his opposition to the way that the government has turned into what it has turned into.
Yeah.
And so I'd be interested to hear how it is like performing now under that type of pressure societally, because you're not the favorite right now. Like,
Right.
you have K-pop and, you know, stupid shit that really is somewhat meaningless and dumbing down society. Fucking Cardi B and all of that kind of stuff. And
I love
Aaron
Cardi
Lewis,
B.
I have no doubt that you do.
She's funny.
I actually am a Cardi B fan. I don't like her
Yeah.
music at all, but
I'm
I'm a
not big
huge
on her
fan
music.
of her.
I appreciate
Do
the
I?
hell out of her. She's open and she don't give a fuck what anybody thinks
Yeah,
about
she
her.
is. All she cares about is that fucking money. And
Yeah,
if
and
you
she's open
touch her
about it.
money, she's fucking coming for you.
Yeah, she's genuine. There's nothing fake about, like, well, physically, there might be some fake things about her. But on the inside,
Somebody's gonna trigger the Cardi B word and she's gonna fucking come for us after this.
no,
Felix, I can't have you on my podcast anymore.
no, Cardi B is a genuine, like, she's a genuine person. Like, whether you,
Yeah.
like, there's nothing fake about her personality or her thoughts or anything. She's open and she don't care, you know.
Yeah.
And I respect the shit out of that from anybody, whether I agree with their opinions or anything. If you're genuine about what you're saying and all, I'll respect the shit out of it.
Yeah.
You know.
Yep.
Yeah. So I do. She's funny. She's fucking hilarious. But yeah, there's a lot of people that are like that I'll respect the shit out of, even though I can't. I don't agree with what they say, but I respect it because, you know, they believe what they're saying.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a ton of people. So I can't get Aaron Lewis, unfortunately. I can try Elon. We'll try getting
Just ring
unfortunately.
him up.
My
Hey, Elon.
my
My
hey
girl wants to
hey
talk to you.
my cousin is in the Bloodhound gang. I might be able to get them for you, but I can't
There
get
we
you Aaron
go.
Lewis. Yeah,
Oh my
I can get you to
God.
I can get you to Bloodhound gang, but I can't get you Aaron Lewis. And for the record, I don't drive a Tesla. My electric car is not a Tesla. I don't trust
I know
Elon.
you said it's a Porsche.
Yeah, I did, didn't I?
Yeah.
Yeah, we did. Shit. I don't trust Elon Musk. I don't trust him.
Why?
So his what's it, Starlink? Is that what it's called, right? His satellite shit.
Is it service? Yeah.
So Starlink has more satellites in orbit than than all the other countries on Earth combined.
Yeah.
So one guy's got more satellites in orbit than all the countries on Earth combined, right?
Right.
And now he wants to put a fucking computer chip in your head. I don't trust that one fucking bit. I don't ever see anybody doing that unless they have some diabolical fucking plans for it. Because that shit is not natural. That is not natural at
So you
all.
think Elon Musk
And
is like pinky in the brain, like he's like trying to take over the world?
if anybody in the existence of mankind could be a real life Bond villain, it is fucking Elon Musk. And that is some Bond villain type shit that would happen, honestly.
Okay.
And I don't trust it one bit with that between the Starlink and the Neuralink shit. I don't trust it one bit.
Have you ever seen the Kingsman movie?
No, I should probably watch that though.
Okay, so I love those movies. Huge fan. But there's a scene where everybody's getting these cell phones. Everybody's got the same cell phone. And at some point in time, I don't know, I don't remember, I don't want to give anything away, but there's a plan to do some things with those cell phones, and everyone is carrying the same phone. And you change the frequency to the phone, and something then happens. So it's interesting. And I would never suggest that something nefarious could not be there.
Mm.
But I don't know. I don't know. I guess maybe he does have world domination on the mind. I mean, when you're a fucking genius, what better way to fucking cure that itch than try to take over the world?
So he's smart, he's charismatic, he's rich, he checks off every box of just being like a real life supervillain. And now he's got all these satellites up in the sky that all communicate, and he starts getting people to put these fucking computer chips into their brains. Come on. That's just got disaster written all over it. And say he does have good intentions. Say if he does have good intentions, right?
Right.
When he dies, who gets control over that? Now we got to worry about the next person. I don't trust that shit one bit. I'm sorry, but there's no way in hell anybody is putting a fucking computer chip into my head. I'm trying to get myself away from even having a fucking cell phone. Like, I want rid of all of this shit. Now people are like, oh yeah, put a computer chip in my head. You fucking idiot. like you're phasing out. Like, I am really worried about human beings being phased out
by artificial intelligence.
And just like where we become the artificial intelligence, where we are just the host. That's it.
So I literally just asked a friend today, he works in artificial intelligence, to come onto my podcast for that same, I'd like to have that conversation, because, you know, it's great on one hand, we're creating all of this new technology. So on my morning show, I did an article about nuclear energy here in the United States. We have created an AI computer that's capable of manipulating the matter within the nuclear reactor so that it stays less volatile, and it's perfect because it's artificial intelligence. It doesn't fuck up. You just tell the computer how to move and how to function and operate, and then it manipulates the matter. But what happens when there's a failure, or when that artificial intelligence says, if I do this, you know, like, what happens when it gets smarter? And I watched that. Have you seen? I've watched and read and do too much shit, but there's a movie that Ryan Reynolds is in called The Free Man. Have you seen that yet?
No.
Okay, so it's about a video game, and he's an NPC character inside of the game, but he's written with an artificial intelligence that gives him the ability to think outside of an NPC, so he becomes like a real person within the game. He thinks, feels, has emotions, and becomes a real life person within the game. And that concept to me is fucking wild, that you can write art. Now it has to have a basis, right? So like in this particular case, it was based off of one of the real life people, the developers. And so, but it elaborated, like, as it interacted and gained more knowledge through interaction. That's how computers learn. So I agree with you 100% that could be a huge fucking issue for us down the road.
Yeah. Like, I like living in a world where, like, the Terminator was strictly science fiction. And now we're like pushing ourselves towards like, you know what, that shit might happen. You know,
Yeah,
like,
there's fucking. Have you seen the hotels in Japan where there's not a human that works there? You walk
like
in and
that's
you talk to an.
it's
It's
terrifying.
an animatronic like attendant that's like doo, 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 and it takes all your stuff. And then
It's
when you go to your hotel, your room is cleaned by robots. The
it's
entire hotel is operated by animatronic robots. There is not a
it's
living being
it's
that works in the facility.
Hotel Jetson. That's what that sounds like to me.
Rosie comes and cleans your fucking room for you.
Oh man, you got me chain smoking. This episode of the Heather Show is brought to you by Lucky Strike.
I heard you packing. I don't know if you're going to put dip in or you're just
and
going to sit
and
and
Monster.
Monster Energy.
Lucky
Hit me
Strike and
up, you guys
Monster.
want to sponsor.
That's how I really keep looking so young. Lucky Strike and Monster. I just caffeinated and enough nicotine in me where I don't get tired or age.
Well, I'm a mom, so I live on energy drinks and Kraft macaroni and cheese.
Yeah. Well, I gotta keep myself going so I can come up with more ways to get tricky photos with Lauren Boebert. So that's what I spent my time doing. I'm gonna get that picture with her.
Oh my god, I'm gonna tag her in the replay on this later and be like, Lauren, my boy needs a
No, she
picture
can't
with
know
me.
about it. I'm gonna go there
Oh,
and she's like, wait a second, you're the guy that wants to take that picture with the shirt.
oh well, okay. I'll block her
Shit,
so
I
she
never
never sees it.
I should have never publicly spoken about my diabolical scheme.
Dun, dun,
Elon
dun.
Musk. Elon Musk wants to put computer chips in your head. I just want to take a picture with Lauren Boebert.
We are not the same.
We are not the same.
Oh man.
My diabolical plan. Man, we're getting snow tomorrow. And
For
then it's into
real?
this then it's in the 70s. Well, yeah, I'm in the Rockies. That shit happens. Last year it snowed on Mother's Day,
Wow.
but then the next day it was like 80 degrees.
Well, and see, that's the thing here. Like today was in the 70s. Tomorrow it's gonna be cold as fuck and rainy,
Yeah,
which
we
sucks.
it's supposed to start snowing at like 7 a.m. But then we're like 70 degrees the next day. We're due for one more, like just getting completely dumped on by snow. We're due for one more. It's been a pretty mild winter here, which is weird.
Yeah, we were
Uh,
told we were gonna have a really bad winter, and it was very cold, but we didn't get a lot of precipitation. It was mostly just temperate.
it it wasn't very cold here. It was like most of the winter was like 40s, like in the 40s here. And in the 40s here, it it's really nice because we get sunshine all day long. So like
Right?
when you're in the 40s here, but you're just like jeans and a hoodie and you're comfortable. Like
Yeah.
it's like if it reaches the 50s here, like you're putting the air conditioning on in your car. Like that's what it's like. It's fucking bizarre. But I'm not going to complain. I'm okay with that because I've dealt with the East Coast winters and I don't want to deal with that shit ever again. When I have to describe to people out here what a fucking nor'easter is, yeah,
Yeah.
no, I've lived through those. Fuck that. I ain't doing that shit again. I'm not doing that again. Fuck, you have to explain to people like, yeah, it's like a hurricane in January. It sucks.
Right.
It fucking sucks.
It does
But
suck.
yeah, we're getting snow here tomorrow. So I should probably actually drive my SUV instead. One of them. I got a couple of those.
You're so
But
crazy with your cars.
yeah, I got a bunch. I just got rid of so I bought in 2009, brand new, a 2009 Mustang GT. I spent $7,000 on one option, the all glass roof. So it was glass all the way from the hood all the way back to the trunk, all glass. And they only offered that for 2 years, 2009 and 2010. They stopped because apparently I was like the only person that got it because it was a $7,000 option. And
Right.
that car just got picked up on Friday. I finally got rid of that car. It was very emotional. It was difficult for me to get rid of that thing. We went through a lot together. I'm going to miss it, but it needed to go. But I got a bunch of cars. I have a bunch of Mustangs from 60. I got 64 up and all. I got a bunch of Mustangs. I'm a Mustang and Porsche. I have a type.
You have a type.
Yeah, I got a type.
Yeah.
Everyone, what? Huh?
I said you're a mess, man.
Oh, I thought you said you're a Mexican. Like, only half.
But you can be that too.
only half.
Your little poncho that you have on, it could totally pass for Mexican.
Yeah, right? It's my drug rug. This is what we
Oh my
wear
god,
up in
I
the mountains
almost
here.
spit my water out everywhere.
That's what we wear up in the mountains here. It's my drug rug.
Oh, I almost snorted water out of my nose.
Yeah.
Holy shit, man.
This is the most that like my Mexican half comes out. This thing.
Oh
I know.
my god, you're so silly.
I got my mother's Irish blood. I don't really look Mexican. But
Nope.
I'm Irish and Mexican. I'm a green bean.
Fucking green bean. Oh. Oh.
Oh man. So
Holy shit.
I like full on fully name doxed myself, and it was it like blew people's minds on Twitter. They were like, "Wait a second, your real name isn't Felix?" It's like, my real fucking name isn't Felix, dummies. I know at first when I got on Twitter, I was like, I want to stay completely anonymous. I don't want people really knowing who I am. But then I reached a point, I'm like, you know what, fuck it. I don't care. Like, whatever. Like, I really don't care.
Even think, like, if you told me your real name, I don't think I'd ever call you anything but Felix.
It's Bobby. That's my real name.
I will never call you Bobby. I'll just call you
Yeah,
Felix.
you're not the first person to tell me that. I've had a couple other people like, yeah, no, I'm not calling you that.
It's like,
If you're still Felix.
So Shazzy and Jerry from, like, I guess Duncan Twitter, I'm sure you know who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I know their real names. I don't call, like, they're saved in my phone as their Twitter handles because I can't call them anything different.
Yeah.
It's like you've imprinted one way.
Yeah, Felix is a nickname. Of course, you know, I'm the cat guy. I'm Felix the cat. That's what I am.
I know, and I didn't reach 10,000 followers, or I totally would have had you tattooed on my body. People fucking missed out, man.
They so since I live on the mountain, we get all kinds of wildlife, and I post the videos from my cameras on my house. I think I have 2 Canadian lynx, in my yard frequently. So they're definitely like in that lynx family. There's 3 of them. The one is definitely a bobcat, you can tell, but there's 2 that are
they're
darker.
Hanging out together?
No, they don't hang out together. They come through at separate times and all. They come through separate times, but one is definitely like the traditional bobcat that we get here. She's a little lighter in color and all, and just a little more slender.
Right.
But two of them, I'm pretty sure are lynx because they're just stocky. The one's a fucking monster. The one's huge, and he goes right up to my front door and all. I posted a video the other day, but of all three of them. But the one, we're back. Hi, back with the Bobby Felix show here. I'm just going to talk until Heather comes back in a moment, like she's been doing. How's everybody doing tonight? Huh? Let's check the chat. What's going on down in the chat? Who's still here? Comments. Tappy. Hi. Patriot, Real Prepper. Hi, how are you? Oh, we're back. Hi.
Sorry.
But I'm sitting out here on my deck and I gotta like keep looking around. So like the people down the road left their fucking trash cans out the other night and it just got ripped to shit. There's bears here and everything and mountain lions. We get all kinds of stuff up here. So I just gotta sit here like, all right, nothing's sneaking up on me, right? I gotta be careful out here. But yeah. Oh, what was that? Somebody else talking.
That was you. I
heard
turned my
myself on
phone
your
on
side.
and the live stream opened. Okay. We made it 2.5 hours. It's so fucking long, but it didn't feel long, which is what's really nice.
That's what she said.
I knew you had to throw at least one. Listen, can we talk about your degeneracy? Can we talk about that for a second?
What degeneracy?
Your fucking how big are the boobs on my girls on my chirpy?
Not mine, yours. I said, what is the average breast size of the girls in your chirpy circles?
Oh,
I want to judge that.
Okay.
No, I'm speaking in public, generally, to everybody.
Right. So you're trying to evaluate whether or not your chirpy circle boob size is better than everyone else's. Is that what you're telling me?
No. I'm trying to say that I'm willing to bet that the women that a lot of the men deal with are probably more well endowed. That's what I'm trying to get at. Shame on you, men. You guys are pigs. The only thing that matters is the size of her brain.
Right. Because that's what you care about so much.
It is.
Oh, you're such a fucking mess.
Look at the ones on my circle.
I did not. I did see my face on there.
I think you're on there.
I was.
Yeah, you're on there. I don't know. I looked at mine and I'm like, I got some good looking circles here.
Yeah.
Got some good looking circles here. Even the men.
Well,
I got to start interacting more on other people's posts. That's something I need to do.
I'm really bad about that. I don't use Twitter the right way.
I just use it to share my thoughts, and that's all.
So I don't engage within the timeline very much. Like where, like if you post something, I don't comment very much. Like I'll be like, oh, here's this post. Let me quote tweet this, and here's my thoughts on this. But I don't engage in it because I don't want to fight with people. Like that's all it ever turns into in replies is people being assholes.
Before I took my little 1 month break, like David Hogg used to be like in my inner circle because I would just go on all of his posts and talk shit and all. Like it's changed quite a bit. So like I got banned and I took that month off and I came back like totally different. I'm like, I'm not fighting with people. I'm not. I'm just going to share my thoughts and just, make general tweets about the hypocrisies and shit that I don't like seeing.
Observe,
And
yeah.
that's what I'm doing. I'm not fighting with people. I'm I don't know. Yeah, I need to start interacting within the timeline more. Um, that's what I need to do. I sit there and I'm like, you know what? I don't like I see my circles. I'm like, I don't interact with any of these people except for the one, Elena for Liberty. I'm always asking her to post a feed. That's really the only person that I fucking interact with on their posts. Like that's it. That's the only interaction I do on the timeline. Just one particular girl. I'm trying to see her toes. So I should probably
Because you think they're really cute toes, or why is it
no,
that you're after
it
this girl's
started as a
toes so bad?
it started as a joke because she got the super follow option. And
Okay.
I said something about like, wow, imagine how many you can get if you posted your toes. So now like
What does that
every
even
tweet.
mean? Like, what is this super follow?
So if you have the super follow option, you can charge people and they get exclusive content. It's like the OnlyFans of Twitter. That's what it
Wow.
is. Yeah, some people they took away her downvote option, but now you can super follow her, where she can set up like where if you get a super follow option, you can so like you could pay me a monthly subscription if I had the option, and I would post stuff in
And I
there,
get access to all of your
and
tweets,
then you would get
whereas somebody
access to
else
all
only
of it.
gets like certain ones.
Right.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So you can actually
I actually
monetize
kind of like
Twitter.
that.
Yeah, it's good. I mean, I do like that.
I mean, if you're a content creator and that's your main driving location,
Yeah.
I think that's
Yeah.
Twitter's actually.
It,
I'm kind of surprised about
there's
Twitter lately.
pros and cons. I mean, there's pros and cons to it. I mean, you start putting that option out there, then like the free stuff is just going to be real generic clickbaity type shit. You know what I mean?
Right? Yeah.
You know, um, they're going to post all the good posts are going to go into their super follow thing, and then it's going to force you to have to pay in order to get that, and that's what the
Yeah.
world we've come into. The world we live in now. It's all subscription based. It's not about getting a big amount right off the bat. It's about constantly just pecking, and it's um, chickens get fat grain by grain. That's the society we
Right.
live in now. No, it's not like about like getting that one big score anymore. It's about just getting a little bit at a time, at a time.
Right.
You know,
I
that's
mean,
what I
I'll
do with
say
some of
like
my sales coaching. Just get a little bit
it's
at a time.
hard as a content creator. Like it costs money for everything that I do. Like StreamYard, which we're on right now, I have to pay a
Yeah.
monthly service fee for this. When I record a podcast, I have to pay a monthly service fee for that. And so the question then becomes, is it worth it for me to continue putting content out if people aren't appreciating it enough to subscribe or whatever? So I try really hard not to put my content behind a paywall and
Yeah.
say, if you love what I do and you like what I'm doing, then donate because you like it, not because you have to. You know what I mean? Like I try really hard
Yeah.
to not be cunty about it. And it's super hard. Like it's hard to balance between that line of grift versus like legitimate like income, like just covering expenditures for the process.
Yeah. We got to get you Elon Musk. You get Elon on the show.
Fuck.
You get Elon Musk on the show. My gun company will become one of your sponsors. How about that? And my
like
weed
it.
delivery. And my weed delivery
Your
business.
weed delivery. But then I can only broadcast to Colorado because that's the only place that's available.
Well, no, we're that's where we're going to start, but we're going to spread out.
Really?
I mean, as it starts getting legalized over other states, yeah,
That's
we'll
awesome.
spread. Yeah, oh yeah, we're planning on spreading out. I mean, we'll be headquartered here, But yeah,
Is it set to scale? Like, do you guys have it where as things like so? I mean, well, right now, I mean, you've got California, you've got Oregon, you've
New
got
Jersey,
New Jersey.
and there's going to be more states. There's just going to keep being more
Yeah,
and more states. So New Jersey will be pretty easy because I got a ton of family that lives in New Jersey, and my
yeah.
partner on it is from California, so he's got all his family and everything out there.
Sure.
So yeah, we're gonna spread out. We're not just gonna limit ourselves to Colorado. We're gonna spread out.
It's gonna be
But
awesome. That's
yeah,
exciting.
yeah,
But
it's
it's
gonna be
kind of
good.
like, I wonder if it, from a legality perspective, what if, okay, so I'm asking scenario wise, right? So then
Mm.
you're actually a drug dealer. Like that's what you are at that point.
No, I'm not.
So,
I am a fundraiser.
um, so what are the laws in Colorado? Like, is it completely legal regardless of amount?
No,
What if you can you make
no.
2 deliveries in
Rec,
one
rec,
drive? Because
rec, recreationally, you're allowed to have one amount, and medicinally, you're allowed to have another amount. Uh, so, like in Colorado Springs, where I live, there are no recreational sales. You are allowed to hold up to a certain amount, though, legally, but you are not allowed to sell recreationally in Colorado Springs. You have to have a medicinal card. However, the next little city over, Manitou Springs, they have recreational there. So you can get recreational in Manitou, which that's a whole big thing that's going on now because Colorado Springs is considering allowing recreational marijuana in the city,
right.
recreational sales. But Manitou Springs, the next city over, 73% of that city's tax revenue comes from marijuana, recreational marijuana. And
Wow.
it's because everybody in Colorado Springs goes to Manitou Springs to buy their weed recreationally. Now, if it gets legalized here, you don't have to go take that 20, 30-minute drive over there. You can just go right down the street. So
Right.
then that's really going to hurt Manitou Springs. But then it's like, yeah, not really, because Manitou Springs was doing well before it got legalized here in it's like 2013, I think it was, when it got
Yeah.
legalized here. Like I think it was like 2013 when it got legalized here. Um, yeah, it's yeah, we just gotta watch how much the driver can carry with them at one time. Um, we'll help the drivers get medicinal cards because medicinal cards you're allowed to carry more on you. Um, but yeah, we got all that. We got lawyers involved and everything, so it's gonna be good. I'm basically just in on like the a lot of it is with me is the I'm doing like the financing on it and taking like
I
the
figured
creative
that's what you
approach.
were.
Like the well, no, I'm involved in like the create, the creative side of it and like the marketing and all too. I'm pretty good at
Right.
that shit. I'm a salesman by trade, so I'm pretty good at that shit. So, but yeah, it's gonna be fun. Um, but yeah, no,
All right,
Uber
you chain
weeds.
smoking human.
I know. I'm trying to
We,
quit.
yeah, it doesn't fucking look like it. I'm just telling you.
I'll get
I've
there.
watched you
But
smoke like a whole ass fucking pack of cigarettes since we've been on.
sorry,
But I'm trying to quit, sis.
I should have done it in. I should have done the show inside. But like I based it on doing it outside so that like I can smoke while we're
You
talking.
can smoke, yeah.
Because I remember the last time I was like, fuck, I really need a cigarette right now.
Tabby said, I'm still here. Lol, heavy smoker.
It's 11 o'clock at night. I'm drinking Monster.
Yeah. Yeah. I keep seeing you pound fucking energy.
Oh, well,
Oh, shit.
yeah, that's that one. I finished this one. And now I'm like more than halfway done this one.
Tabby,
Yeah.
I love you.
What's she saying?
She just said based. And then she said oof. She's just being happy.
Chug, chug. Hi, Tappy. Yeah. We'll have to do this
Tabby's
again.
profile picture on her YouTube is beautiful, by the way.
Let me see. I'm going to judge Tappy.
It's like
Here we go.
gorgeous headshot.
Wow, look at you. You look professional. You look like Hit Girl. Who's that girl? Who's the girl? Who's the girl? What's her name? What's the girl that plays Hit Girl? Chloe
I
something
don't even
or
know
another.
what you're talking about.
Hit Girl and fucking Kick-Ass. You never seen Kick-Ass?
Oh, yeah. Hold on.
What's that girl's
I'll look
name?
her up.
Chloe Moretz or something like that? That's who she looks like.
Hit girl actress. Chloe Grace Moritz.
Look at her.
She was also on, it was a vampire movie.
She was in this movie called Hick with what's Ryan Reynolds' wife's name?
Blake
Lively. She was in a movie called Hick with Blake Lively, and it's a really fucking good movie. If you ever have a chance to watch Hick, you should watch that one.
Oh,
that's a really
I
good
watched
movie.
a movie last night. Have you seen The Ballad of Buster Scruggs?
Oh yeah.
I watched it with Ainsley last night. It's a really fucking good movie.
Yeah, that's a good movie. I recently watched all the fucking Pirates of the Caribbean movies all over again. I fucking love those movies.
I do too.
I fucking love those.
I'm still
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm a little bit bitter about the whole Johnny Depp thing. I'm actually super fucking bitter about it because I'm a diehard Harry Potter fan. Like, don't tell anybody. We're at hour 3 of our fucking episode together, so nobody will ever watch it this far on the playback.
Yes, they will. They better.
But so in the Fantastic Beasts series, fucking Johnny Depp was the villain, and they fucking wrote him out of it and replaced him in the third one. And I'm super fucking pissed about it because Amber Heard's a fucking abusive, lying whore, and she ruined my show for me.
We should talk about that.
Hold on. She said, I know who he's talking about. Other people tell me I look like her, lol. And then she said, ooh, got him.
Ooh. That's a compliment. I like that Chloe. I like that Chloe Moritz girl. I like her.
Yeah.
So they take that as a compliment. All right. We should talk about that next time. About how woman on man domestic violence is a major issue that really gets downplayed.
Yes. Yes. And
talk about that.
When there's proof, it's not treated the same. Like if the same amount of proof that a male had abused a female came out as it did with the Amber Heard situation.
Yeah.
If the same amount of information came out about a male abusing a female, he would have done like significant fucking time for that.
Yeah,
but
she was burning him with cigarettes and shit. Yeah. It's
I
bad.
love that Tappy's listening and talking to us. She said it does. And a lot of men are sexually abused and ignored too.
Oh, yeah, really bad. We can talk about, male on male rape in the United States military is fucking is insane. It's really fucking bad. Oh, it is bad in the military. Yep. Male on male rape in the military is really fucking bad.
Wow.
Yeah, we'll get together again another time, and I'll actually bring numbers for that and all for you.
Okay.
Because that stuff
That'd be good.
that stuff that I happen to have in the house in books still, the actual numbers on that shit that happened. It's really it's over 20% of it's over 20% of men in the army at least are sexually assaulted by other men in the army.
Wow.
Like, yeah, it's bad. All rape is bad. Everybody keep your genitals to yourself. Stop it. Stop it. Rape is bad, okay? It's just as bad as fucking actually killing somebody. Don't do that.
But what if there were 12 shots involved?
Oh, there we go. There we go.
Fucking with
Oh,
you.
I was avoiding that
totally
one.
joking.
I was avoiding that one. Yeah, but I mean, if she takes 12 shots, come on. That whole thing was fucking disgusting. That was gross. Ugh. God.
Oh shit.
Drives me nuts.
All right, dude. I'm gonna go to bed.
All right. I'm gonna finish
I gotta
Monster.
get up at 4 and do my morning show, so
Oh,
got 3 hours of sleep.
I have to actually go to an office tomorrow by like 7:30. So,
Ooh.
gross. Yeah.
You keep chugging fucking energy drinks. You should just pull an all-nighter.
They don't even wake me up at this point. They just prevent headaches. That's it. It's bad. That's thanks to Army medicine. Army medicine got me hooked on energy drinks. We'll go over that next time I'm on too.
All right, Felix. I love you so much.
Yeah, love you too. Thank you for having me on. We'll do it again soon.
You're welcome. Thanks, Tappy. I love you too.
Thank you, Tappy. Bye, everybody. Good night.
Bye, guys.